Chapter 298. The moment he broke through to the earth immortal stage, the immortal spiritual energy within 1,000 miles uncontrollably gathered towards Linley. Finally, the immortal spiritual energy crazily drilled into Linley's body through his meridians, all the way to the primordial spirit in his dantian. The little gray person in Lin Ray's dantian sensed the dense, immortal spiritual chi and instantly opened its mouth uncontrollably. It began to devour the immortal spiritual chi that rushed into his dantian. 10 feet, 20 feet, 30 feet, 10 feet. At this moment, the little gray person in his dantian was madly devouring the immortal spiritual chi. Its body began to expand uncontrollably until it was 10 feet tall. Boom! A terrifying spiritual chi was emitted from Lin Ray's body in an instant. Some of the rocks around Lin Ray were already shattered by the immortal spiritual chi that was released. If the Tai Ape were here, it would definitely have the intention to kill Lin Ray. At this moment, the cave could no longer be called cave. It could only be called a trash. Half an hour later, the immortal spiritual chi within 1,000 miles was completely devoured by Lin Ray. Lin Ray also stopped devouring the immortal spiritual chi. Everything returned to normal, except for Lin Ray's chi. Ow! Ow! At this moment, all the demonic beasts in the mountain were originally living in peace. But suddenly, the immortal spiritual chi that came from their survival was sucked away by an inexplicable force. To them, this was a provocation and also a death wish. The moment the immortal spiritual chi disappeared, all the demonic beasts within 1,000 miles were mobilized. They all rushed towards the place where the immortal spiritual chi was gathered. Of course, that was the Tai Ape's cave that Lin Ray was in. Of course, the Tai Ape, who had been guarding outside the cave, felt Lin Ray's movements. However, at this moment, the Tai Ape's eyes were filled with disbelief. It really didn't expect that Lin Ray's breakthrough to the Earth Immortal Realm would cause such a huge commotion. This kid is really not an ordinary person. I didn't expect him to be so awesome after breaking through to the Earthly Immortal Realm. If he continues to practice like this, the scene, TSK. The more Tai Yuan thought about it, the happier he became. In the end, Tai Yuan couldn't help but smack his lips. If Lin Ray's breakthrough had caused the cave he had lived in for tens of thousands of years to be destroyed like that, then he wouldn't have such an expression right now. Phew! Lin Ray, who was in the cave, let out a deep breath. Then he opened his eyes. A bright light flashed in his eyes, but it quickly disappeared. Ha! Good. I never expected that the earthly immortal realm would actually be so miraculous. Not only did my strength rise explosively, even my soul core has grown to a length of 30 m. As Lin Ray sensed his current cultivation and aura, he wished he could immediately go out and fight with the Tai Ape, so that he could take revenge for the previous abuse. Phew. The little dragon's voice suddenly sounded. Lin Ray helplessly closed his eyes and frowned, as if he had a headache. Lin Ray, it's not that I don't believe you. You're just at the bottom of the immortal realm, and you've just entered the earthly immortal realm. How dare you try to win against a demonic beast that's one realm higher than you? I just want to say, don't be a disgrace. Sure enough, whatever Lin Ray thought of came true. The moment he heard the little dragon's voice, Lin Ray thought of the scene just now. In the end, Lin Ray's thoughts were confirmed by the little dragon. See, it will definitely say, don't be proud of yourself just because your cultivation has increased. You still have a long way to go. Look at yourself. Isn't it just an increase in your cultivation? You're starting to be proud of yourself. You still have a long way to go. Basically, Lin Ray and the little dragon's voices stopped at the same time, and the words they said were exactly the same. There was no mistake at all. I know. I won't be proud just because I've just broken through. Don't worry. Ding dong. Congratulations to the host for breaking through to the early stage of the earthly immortal realm. The host is hereby rewarded with a book called Thunder Tyrant Body that trains the body. As a reward, I hope you will continue to work hard and remember your 300-year mission. This sudden voice gave Linley a fright. But upon hearing that it was a reward, Linley's entire being was filled with excitement. Thunder Tyrant Body, what's this little dragon? Is it very powerful? As he spoke, a golden book appeared in Lin Ray's hand. Looking at it, Lin Ray's eyes were full of suspicion. However, in the eyes of the little dragon, this was asking for a beating. F*CKU, are you an idiot? Thunder Tyrant Body is a Grandmaster level body training skill. Don't you think it's powerful? And its effect is very powerful. As for how powerful it is, you'll only know after you practice it. Looking at Lin Ray, this country bumpkin, the little dragon was angry. He didn't expect that after following him for so long, he was still so country bumpkin. However, scolding him was one thing, but in the end, he still told him about the thunder effect. What? Grandmaster level? Damn, this is the best cultivation method I've ever received since I got the system's reward. And this is the first Grandmaster level cultivation skill. Listening to the little dragon's explanation, Lin Ray's imagination began to run wild, and all kinds of fantasies instantly filled his mind. However, this was inevitable. After all, just getting a Grandmaster level secret skill was something to be happy about. Besides, even in the immortal realm, Grandmaster level cultivation skills were the most precious treasures of the super sections. If people knew that Lin Ray had a Grandmaster level cultivation skill in his hands, he believed that everyone would try to kill him and rob him. Damn, can you be a little more promising? Just a Grandmaster level cultivation skill can make you like this. What will happen when you get a venerable level cultivation skill in the future? Looking at Lin Ray's appearance, the little dragon was completely helpless. He didn't know how to talk to Lin Ray. Rumble, rumble, rumble. Lin Ray, who was in his fantasy, was awakened from his fantasy by the shaking of the cave. At this moment, it was as if an earth dragon had turned over in the cave, and it began to shake violently. Moreover, the cave, which had been turned into a pile of trash because of his breakthrough, could not withstand the shaking force, and finally collapsed. With the cave as the center, a dozen evil beasts spread out for hundreds of miles in all directions. Their faces were full of murderous intent as they charged toward Lin Ray. Each evil beast had a cultivation above the middle stage of the earthly immortal realm, and there were so many of them. Now, the Thai ape, who was guarding Lin Ray outside the cave, had already sensed something approaching. However, he did not expect that there would be so many evil beasts approaching, and among them were his enemies. Seeing this scene, he knew that there would be a fierce battle today. At this moment, he was very worried about Lin Ray in the cave. He had just broken through to the earthly immortal realm, and now there were so many evil beasts. In the end, he did not even know whether he would live or die. Roar! A deafening roar came from the Thai ape's mouth, accompanied by dense, immortal spiritual chi and coercion. In an instant, it slashed toward the evil beasts that were charging toward him. You guys are really daring. I just broke through to the celestial immortal realm a few days ago, so I didn't have time to visit you. I didn't expect so many neighbors to come today. What's the meaning of this? The voice was so loud that Lin Ray, who was in the cave, naturally heard the Thai ape's words clearly. At the same time, he also knew that today's fierce battle was inevitable. Chapter 299. You still have the nerve to say that? All the immortal spiritual energy within 1,000 miles is rushing towards us. Don't you intend to give us an explanation? That's right, Thai ape. We've been neighbors for many years. You can't do this. That's right, Thai ape. Although we can't be like humans, immortal spiritual energy is too important to us. Look at you. You've devoured all the immortal spiritual energy within 1,000 miles. No matter what, you have to give us an explanation today. After the first person finished speaking, the surrounding celestial immortal stage demonic beasts explained their situation. Thai ape had no reason to argue, because what they said was right. Immortal spiritual energy was very important to demonic beasts. It could be said that it was something they couldn't lack. Let me tell you, Thai ape, if you don't give us an explanation today, you could forget about keeping this territory of yours. Thai ape, who had been feeling guilty about his wrongdoing, heard the words of the leopard-head demonic beast in front of him, and his guilt was swept away. Hee, leopard-head, it's not that I'm looking down on you, but do you think you can beat me? Yes, even if you have the advantage in speed, even if I'm standing here, you may not be able to hurt me. Tai Ape looked at the leopard-head demonic beast with a face full of disdain. Tai Ape couldn't help but laugh. You, Tai Yuan's words made leopard-head, who had just been full of arrogance, speechless. I'm not talking to you anymore. Seeing that he couldn't out-talk Tai Ape, he quickly turned around and turned his back to Tai Ape. However, at this moment, the demonic beast who had been standing to the side stepped forward and issued a challenge to Tai Ape with a solemn expression. Tai Ape, you're also a man. What's the point of bullying a weakling? I'm Qi Xiong, at the early celestial immortal stage. I challenge you. If you lose, your territory will be ours. Tai Yuan couldn't help but take a few more glances at the person who called himself Qi Xiong. Before this, Tai Yuan didn't sense his existence, which made him feel very strange. However, Lin Rei, who was in the cave, was aware of what was happening outside. When he heard Leopard-Head's words, Lin Rei couldn't help but want to rush out and slaughter them all. However, just as he was about to leave, the little dragon's voice sounded. There's no need for you to go. Those who were knocked down by the Tai Ape outside are all earthly immortals, while those who are still standing are all heavenly immortals. Furthermore, all of them are at the early stage. As a mutated Tai Ape, I believe he has the strength to deal with them. Really? Lin Rei was deeply suspicious of the little dragon's words. To the Tai Ape, they were friends, and he didn't want anything to happen to his friend. To the little dragon, they were close friends and business partners. However, Lin Rei didn't want to risk his life too much. Don't worry, none of them are a match for you. The most important thing for you now is to check your information in the system and see what level you're at now. Looking at the little dragon's confident expression, Lin Rei believed him at this moment. Without hesitation, he entered the system. Lin Rei, who had been here many times, was familiar with the place. In just a few minutes, he arrived at the place where his information was projected. The moment he entered, he looked up and saw that his information had already appeared in mid-air, as if waiting for him to read it. Name, Lin Rei. Age, 32. Cultivation, early earthly immortal stage experience, 856,368. For billion, spiritual roots, thunder, fire, wood, metal chaos, spiritual roots talent. Peak of late-stage immortal monarch cultivation method. Chaos scripture level 2. Incomplete. Devouring heavenly technique, growable. Hongmeng alchemy. Entry-level cultivation method. Cloud formula. Emperor-level cultivation method. Same formation. Emperor-level cultivation method. Tyrant body technique. Emperor-level cultivation method. Thunder tyrant body. Master-level secret method. Martial skills. Butterfly. Steps. Entry-level. Stellar finger. Proficient. Silent thunder spear art. High-level dark level martial skill. Now practice to the entry level. Can produce 3 thunderbolts. Myriad sword art. Heaven level. Level 3 incineration. Emperor level. Dragon subduing step. Emperor level. Shura spear art. King level. Shura sword formation. King level. Shura transformation. Emperor level. Spiritual treasures. Martial Emperor godly spear. Low-grade celestial artifact. Growable. Myriad magic sword. Gradeless. Myriad beast furnace. Heaven and earth bell. Best grade celestial artifact. Heavenly temple. Upper grade celestial artifact. Equipment. Cloud stepping boots. Upper grade spiritual artifact. Purple cloud robe. Upper grade spiritual artifact. Purple cloud inner armor. Upper grade spiritual artifact. Purple jade crown. Lower grade celestial artifact. Wood royal hairpin. Lower grade celestial artifact. Middle grade celestial carefree. Mount. Red flaming tiger. Peak. Lucky draw wheel. 2 war general draw system. The war general draw opportunity has been used up. This system has been permanently sealed. Reputation points. 130,000 exchange points. 0 spiritual stones. 0 heaven grade alchemist. 368,505, 500,000. Heaven-grade formation master, 500,005,0000. Top-grade spiritual medicine, heavenly materials and earthly treasures. 50 kilograms of purple gold nephrite, 50 kilograms of purple gold sand, 50 kilograms of purple gold godly iron. Side mission: within 300 years, reach the cultivation level that the system thinks of. If you can't complete it, the system has the right to kill you directly. When your strength is improved again, rescue the suppressed Paishio. Pills. 11 mind-controlling pills, 8,000 mind-controlling pills. Looking at all his information, Lin Ray didn't feel excited. Instead, he felt worried. Sigh. 300 years. I can cultivate in 300 years. But to what extent? TSK. Although he wasn't sure about his cultivation level after 300 years, Lin Ray quickly came to his senses and recovered to the point where he was full of energy again. Hee, but this time, I don't feel proud of my breakthrough. This is worthy of praise, but I still have to work harder. As soon as the little dragon's voice appeared, Lin Ray originally thought that it would be mocking him. Suddenly, the little dragon's tone changed abruptly. For a moment, Lin Ray didn't come to his senses. Okay, I won't talk nonsense with you. It's very chaotic outside now. The Earth immortal level monsters suppressed by the Tai ape have all come to their senses now. Moreover, all the monsters in the early stage of the celestial immortal level have begun to besiege the Tai ape. If you don't want anything to happen to it, quickly leave this place. Whoosh! As soon as the little dragon finished speaking, Lin Ray turned into a gust of wind and left the system, rushing out of the cave. At this moment, the situation was chaotic. All the monsters were fighting together, and all the monsters were besieging the Tai ape. Damn it, do you think I don't exist? How dare you bully my brother? Looking at this scene, Lin Ray's anger instantly soared to the sky. His murderous aura burst out and turned into a solid long sword, slashing towards the chaotic battlefield. Damn it, damn little dragon, didn't you say that the Tai ape could defeat them? This is the scene you were talking about. Chapter 300. Bang! The long sword smashed into the place where the group of monsters were fighting, making a loud sound. However, it seemed that they were not injured. After the incident, the monsters looked around. When they did not find anyone, they once again joined the battle. Lin Ray was also fooled in the cave ruins. When he saw this scene, he wanted to use the little dragon's theory. However, at this time, there was no sound or figure of the little dragon. Its nostrils must have already entered the system and hidden. So unreliable, alas. He sighed and rushed up with the martial Emperor Divine Spear in his hand. He aimed it at the earthly, immortal realm demonic beast that was besieging the Tai ape. Beast, how dare you sneak attack my brother? I think you're courting death. The killing intent of the martial Emperor Divine Spear accompanied by Lin Ray's angry roar. In an instant, it appeared in front of the earthly, immortal realm demonic beast. The spear stabbed forward without hesitation. Bang! The demonic beast that collided with the martial Emperor Divine Spear was instantly sent flying by the force of the martial Emperor Divine Spear. After breaking through to the earthly immortal realm, Lin Ray was very confident that he was invincible in the earthly immortal realm. However, this was just a proof. Now, it was confirmed in a real battle. Of course, it was also a sneak attack. When Lin Ray's martial Emperor Divine Spear stabbed the demonic beast was besieging the Tai ape. It did not see Lin Ray behind it at all. Ow! A furious roar could be heard from the mouth of the demonic beast, which had been sent flying by Lin Li. Its voice was filled with rage, extreme rage, and the aura around it began to change. Human boy? Haha, I didn't expect the Tai ape to collude with a human boy. What a disgrace to the demonic beast clan. He raised his huge head, and when he saw that the one who had injured him was a human, he understood the reason behind it. In an instant, he transferred all his hatred onto the Tai ape. Human boy, although I don't know why you're here, you should know that no human can enter the Wonder Mountain Mountains. Since you're here today, you'll stay here forever. After the demonic beast said those words, it looked at La, raised its head, and roared angrily at Long Zhong. Brothers, this human brat is challenging the dignity of our monster beast clan. Tell me, what should we do? Looking at the appearance of the demonic beast in front of him, Lin Ray did not feel afraid. He only looked at it with the attitude of watching a show, waiting for the arrival of the helper it was looking forward to. Ow, 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 ow. Not long after he spoke, the 10 or so demonic beasts below the celestial immortal realm all turned around and charged towards Linley, who was in the center. Of course, I'm going to dismember them. 10,000 years. I haven't eaten human flesh for 10,000 years. I'm really looking forward to it. You're right. The taste of human flesh is the best in this world. Who knows, eating it might even increase my cultivation. Now Lin Ray, who was in the middle, was listening to them rushing towards him while discussing how to divide the meat. Suddenly, Lin Ray's face turned ugly. Damn it, I'm an earthly immortal realm expert. I didn't expect that in the eyes of you beasts, I'm just a pile of meat. In that case, you can all die. It's a good opportunity to test and consolidate my recent breakthrough into the earthly immortal realm. They did not speak any more nonsense because they had angered Lin Ray. Even if the God of Heaven was here, these demonic beasts in front of him would have to die. Kill. As soon as the word kill was uttered, a huge amount of killing intent materialized into a long spear and instantly pierced towards one of the earthly immortal realm demonic beasts. With a swish sound, the murderous aura spear pierced through the sky and instantly appeared above a demon beast. Before the demon beast could react, the murderous aura spear directly pierced through the demon beast's head. From top to bottom, it directly pierced through the demon beast's head and directly pierced through the ground. It looked very terrifying. He reckoned that the demonic beasts would be unwilling to die. They didn't even know what was going on, and they were already dead without knowing why. Moreover, their deaths were extremely cruel. Their eyes were wide open, and now, tears were seeping out from their eyes. They looked like they were unwilling to die. When this happened, all the demonic beasts that were rushing towards Lin Ray stopped abruptly in the distance and did not dare to move anymore. How could it be? That's a peak earthly immortal realm demonic beast. How could it be killed? The demonic beasts looked at the demonic beast that was killed, and for a moment, their hearts were filled with fear, because the demonic beast that was killed was very famous in their circle. In this area, it could be considered a well-known figure. They did not expect that it would be killed so easily. How could these weak demonic beasts accept this? Plop! At this moment, the long spear of killing intent that was inserted into the demonic beast body turned into a black shadow and disappeared. Without the support of the long spear, the demonic beast body fell to the ground. Oh, a bunch of cowards. You want to kill someone with such little ability? I think you'd better go back and sleep with yourselves. It's better to be the king of your mountain. Lin Ray's words fell into the ears of the surrounding demonic beasts. At this moment, they hated and wanted to kill Lin Ray. However, they were frightened by the scene of their companion being killed just now. Lin Ray had already guessed this scene. Looking at their timid appearance, Lin Ray admired them for a moment. As long as they did not go and cause trouble for the Tai ape, Lin Ray could endure everything else. On the other side, the Tai ape was much more relaxed. Without the attacks of those weak, earthly immortals, the Tai ape was more than enough to deal with demonic beasts of the same level as the celestial immortals. At this moment, the Tai ape, who was fighting fiercely, began to improve his cultivation. Generally speaking, demonic beasts would make breakthroughs after a long period of accumulation and fighting. At this moment, the Tai ape was fighting a group of demonic beasts alone. It was a great opportunity to improve his cultivation. How could Tai Yuan Station give up? The battle became more and more intense. After a while, the battle reached another level. All the demonic beasts took out their special skills. In this battle, it was either you die or I die. The Tai ape is having a great time this time. Not only does he have a battle, but he also has a grindstone to improve his cultivation. Alas, when will I be able to improve my cultivation again? Lin Ray, who had been watching from the sidelines, knew what the Tai ape was thinking. Thinking about himself, he sat on a rock and sighed. However, if Linley's words were to be heard by the people in the outside world, they would definitely chase Linley to the ends of the earth to kill him. Generally speaking, breaking through to the next level was a waste of time. But Linley had just broken through to the Earth and Immortal stage, and now he wanted to break through again? How could there be such a good thing in this world? Chapter 301. Humph. Go to hell. The sudden turn of events made Zhou Bao, who had planned to let these evil beasts go. While Lin Ray was observing the battle between the Tai ape and the other evil beasts, one of the evil beasts came to Lin Ray's back, wanting to kill him. Of course, Lin Ray was cautious. While observing the Tai ape's battle, he had already released his divine sense. He did not expect something like this to happen. Humph. You're courting death. I'll let you live a little longer, but you're not grateful at all. You want to kill me. As he spoke, the martial Emperor Divine Spear suddenly moved behind him. No one saw how the martial Emperor Divine Spear appeared. Poof! The sound of flesh being pierced made the surrounding earth, immortal realm, evil beasts tremble. Cold sweat instantly overflowed from their bodies. At this moment, the martial Emperor Divine Spear was stuck in the abdomen of the evil beast that had attacked Lin Ray. You! The fist of the evil beast behind Lin Ray was infinitely close to Lin Ray. However, in the end, it did not succeed. It was killed by Lin Ray's spear. Humph! You really think I'm a greenhorn? I've killed people and evil beasts much older than you. You think you can show off in front of me with this little bit of cleverness? You really don't know how many eyes the Horse Lord has. Poof! Lin Ray pulled out the long spear that was stuck in the evil beast's body. The tip of the spear was still stained with the evil beast's blood. Humph! You can't blame me. It was the one who attacked first. I originally wanted to leave with you, but you insisted on killing me. You can't blame me for this. Who asked you to be so unlucky to have such a companion? After he finished speaking, Linley didn't wait for them to retort. He instantly got up from the stone and disappeared from the spot. When he reappeared, he was beside a demonic beast. Poof! Lin Ray's long spear was stuck in the evil beast's abdomen. Its vitality began to fade slowly. Huh! You'd better not think about running away, because no matter how you run, you won't be able to outrun me. Looking at the demons, Lin Ray's lips curled up slightly, revealing an evil expression. He spoke to them in a tone so cold that no one could feel any warmth in the surroundings. You're a demon. You're a demon. The surrounding demonic beasts, who had been frightened by Lin Ray, firmly believed what Lin Ray said. They didn't want to believe it, but according to the situation, everything he said was true. At this moment, the demons wanted to leave. They regretted coming here, but there was no turning back. Accept the arrangement of fate. Stand there obediently and don't move. Since you're going to die, it's better to be a quiet ghost. Poof, poof, poof. Move. After speaking, Linley began to move. He began to wildly slaughter those 10 or so demonic beasts. Very quickly, those 10 or so demonic beasts began to listen to Linley's words. The ordinary demonic beasts all closed their eyes, their faces ashen as they were pierced through by Linley's spears, and left the world. The sound of their companions being killed all fell into the ears of the remaining people. Their hearts were also very weak. At this moment, they couldn't bear it anymore. Since they were going to die anyway, it was better to die in a battle. Human brat, we're going to die anyway. It's better to die with a bang than euthanasia. Yes. Since we're all going to die anyway, why don't we attack together and fight it out with him? Perhaps this is the only way to have a chance of survival. As they spoke, the demons seemed to have gained approval of this sentence and nodded in agreement. Looking at them, Lin Ray smiled and looked at them with disdain. Whoosh! While they were discussing how to kill him, Lin Ray moved again. His body disappeared from the spot. This time, Lin Ray's movements seemed to be more joyful. Everywhere he passed, a demonic beast would fall to the ground with a loud bang. Quick, everyone, hurry up, or we're all going to die. Seeing their companions fall to the ground one by one, the remaining demonic beasts gathered their courage. Just like what the previous demonic beast said. Boom, boom, boom. Several demonic beasts shook off Lin Rei's suppression and used all their strength to press down on Lin Rei. Every demonic beast had a huge pressure, and their faces were full of determination. Looking at their actions, Lin Rei admired them very much. Lin Rei admired their actions very much. They could not stop attacking their enemies, let alone stay in the distance and be slaughtered by others. But although they admired him, they still couldn't avoid death. After all, they were Lin Li's enemies. Well, I admire your courage. Since you're so courageous, I'll respect you and let you live with dignity. As he spoke, the martial Emperor Divine Spear in Lin Rei's hand disappeared, and the Emu Sword of All Laws appeared in his hand. Boom! The moment the Emu Sword of All Laws appeared, a powerful sword chi instantly filled Lin Rei's surroundings. His clothes fluttered even though there was no wind. After becoming an earthly immortal, he had an ethereal temperament. Level 3 Incineration, Extreme Wind, Meteoric Kill. This time, Lin Rei was serious. Although he could kill them with the martial Emperor Divine Spear, Lin Rei wanted to end their lives in this way. Lin Rei, who was in the earthly immortal realm, used level 3 Incineration for the first time. This kind of momentum was many times more powerful than when he used it in the Mahayana realm. Clenching the hilt of the Emu Sword of All Laws with both hands, Lin Rei looked resolutely at the 5 demonic beasts who were rushing towards him. He did not hesitate. Swish! The Emu Sword of All Laws slashed in the direction of the demonic beasts. In an instant, tens of thousands of materialized sword chi rushed out of the Emu Sword of All Laws and rushed towards the demonic beasts. It was so fast that the demonic beasts were cut into pieces before they could see it. There was no pain, no feeling. The demonic beasts were cut into pieces and disappeared without a trace. Phew, it's so cool. This power is simply amazing. After the battle ended, Lin Li sighed emotionally for a moment, then turned to look at the Tai ape. Lin Li really had been fighting for an entire day. He had originally thought that the Tai ape would take a while to finish his battle, but now he saw that there were only 2 people left fighting against the Tai ape. This old guy, I didn't expect him to be so powerful. So many celestial immortals besieged him, but he was not defeated and could even counterattack. He's really TSK. Without saying anything, he sat down cross-legged and watched the battle with interest. Bang! As soon as Lin Li sat down, he saw that one of the 2 monstrous beasts had been smashed into pieces by the Tai ape. Humph! Didn't you say that you wanted to occupy my territory? Now, I'd like to see what you have that can take me out of here. The remaining demonic beast was the leopard head who had spoken so boldly before. However, the leopard head now no longer had the courage from before. At this time, he was trembling all over and his eyes were filled with fear. It was obvious that he was scared out of his wits. All right, Tai ape, hurry up and end the battle. You're wasting too much time. At this moment, looking at the Tai ape's actions, Lin Rei hurriedly said to the Tai ape, he did not want to waste time here. Okay. The Tai ape, who originally wanted to scare the leopard head, quickly agreed when he heard Lin Rei's words. Leopard head, you heard it too, so swish. As he spoke, the Tai ape's body moved. In an instant, he appeared beside the trembling leopard head and punched at the back of the leopard head's head. Bang! The leopard head, who was scared out of his wits, did not have the ability to fight back. At this moment, he was a cripple. Therefore, the leopard head's fist did not encounter any resistance and directly blew open the leopard head's head. Instantly, a red and white substance exploded from the leopard head's head. The leopard head's vitality also disappeared. At this moment, all the monsters on the scene were wiped out by the 2 of them. The battle was completely over at this moment. Looking at the bloody scene, Lin Rei frowned and was somewhat displeased. It seems that we have to find a better place to live. With so many monsters here, I believe that it won't be long before other monsters come spying on us. At that time, there will be another battle. If this continues, one battle after another, how will we have time to cultivate? Yes, that's right. The Tai ape, who came to Lin Rei's side, heard Lin Rei's words and nodded, indicating that he agreed with his point of view. You're right. We'll do as you say. Let's find another place to live. I'm tired of living here anyway. However, just as the Tai ape finished speaking, he frowned as if he had encountered something bad. What's wrong? Seeing the Tai ape's strange expression, Lin Rei quickly went forward and asked, Oh, it's nothing. I'm just worried about where we should set up our camp. In the endless mountain range, every place is guarded by monsters, so if we want to go to a good place, we have to kill them. Otherwise, the Tai ape's eyes lit up at this point. Similarly, Lin Rei's eyes were also the same. The two of them seemed to have thought of something very good. Their eyes met. What I thought of, did you think of it too? Lin Rei couldn't help but ask the Tai ape. Haha, of course. In any case, I've known you for so long. If I don't know your thoughts and character, then we'll spend our time together in vain. Ha! Hearing the Tai ape's words, Lin Rei laughed. He knew that the Tai ape had been taking care of him for so long, so it wasn't strange that the Tai ape knew his thoughts. Since we've decided, let's immediately go to the depths of the endless mountain range. We'll find a place with rich, immortal spirit chi and a good terrain. Then, we'll kill the monsters and make it our territory. Chapter 302. It had been more than a month since the last time Lin Rei had broken through and fought with the Tai ape. During this period of time, Lin Rei had been looking for a fight every day. At first, the Tai ape was very interested, but during this month, it was the same every day. The first 5 days were fine. He was just looking for a demon beast every day. But after that, it was no longer the case. Lin Rei was like a madman, fighting and bathing, then looking for another battle, and fighting without end. In the end, the Tai ape gave up and just watched Lin Rei fight in his stomach. He also stood to the side, watching the show. Lin Rei, on the other hand, put all his attention and mental power into the fight. The results were very obvious. After breaking through the bottom line for a month, Lin Rei fought demon beasts during the day and went to the heaven and earth bell to cultivate at night. According to the time difference, Lin Rei had touched the barrier of the Middle Earth immortal stage. In this month, Lin Rei had become very famous in the Endless Mountain Range. Among the demon beasts in the periphery, Lin Rei had become a character like the black and white impermanents. Therefore, impermanents came to take lives. Lin Rei was now like an impermanence. In the past half a month, the Tai ape found a place in the celestial immortal level. It had beautiful mountains and limpid waters, and the scenery was very elegant. Then he announced to the celestial immortal level demon beast that this place was his, the Tai ape's, territory. He also said that if anyone was dissatisfied, they could courteously go to the celestial immortal level. Dong dong dong. Star finger, heaven-seizing finger. Bang. At this moment, Linley's celestial finger was unleashed, and his finger pierced straight into the monster's skull. Boom. The demon beast that was attacked by Lin Rei struggled wildly at first, but after a few minutes, the demon beast's vitality slowly disappeared until it died. Bang! The demon beast fell to the ground with a loud bang. Its huge body hit the ground and made a big noise. Huh. Phew. Lin Rei, you're finally done. For the past month, I've been following you outside every day to look for demonic beasts to fight. Now, whenever a demonic beast sees me, they all run away. They don't even dare to say a word to me. The Tai ape, who had been standing off to the side, upon seeing the corpse of the demonic beast fall to the ground, looked unwillingly at Linley, who was standing next to the corpse, and complained. Ugh. Lin Rei was aware of the Tai ape's words. He also knew that his ferocious reputation had long since become a warning to the monster beasts in the outer regions. About that, Tai Yuan. You should know that I've just broken through to the lower stage of earthly immortal. If I don't cultivate properly, I won't be able to improve my cultivation. Moreover, you should know that it's very difficult for me to cultivate. I can only break through when I'm on the brink of life and death. As he spoke, Lin Rei's pitiful expression fell into Tai Yuan's eyes. For a moment, Tai Yuan had no other choice. He really couldn't bear to see Lin Rei's current appearance. Okay, I know, but you have to stop for a few days. Although there are countless demonic beasts in the endless mountains, you can't kill them all like you do. Look, this demonic beast is already the 5th one today. If you continue like this, not to mention demonic beasts, there won't even be a hair left. Speaking of demonic beasts, Tai Yuan rolled his eyes at Lin Rei, leaving him to experience it himself. Okay, I won't talk about it. I won't fight for the next 2 days. I can already feel the barrier of the middle stage of earthly immortal. So, I'll cultivate at home for the next few days. Maybe 1 day, maybe 2 days, maybe a long time. I can't say for sure. Moreover, I have something important to do next. As he spoke, Lin Rei put the dead demonic beast into his storage ring. Then, he walked towards the depths of the endless mountains. But of course, Tai Yuan followed as well. His face filled with curiosity, he asked Lin Li, "Something important? What is it?" You'll see when we get home. I'm sure you'll be shocked when you see it. Maybe you'll be very busy then. Lin Li didn't tell the Tai ape the specifics. A mysterious smile hung on Lin Li's face. This caused the Tai ape, who was filled with curiosity, to feel an unbearable itch in his heart. But he also knew that if Lin Li wasn't willing to talk about it, then even he wouldn't be able to ask. Thus, in the end, the Tai ape gave up. He could only wait until he returned to his cave to find out. The place where Lin Rei killed the demonic beast wasn't very far from the valley. Soon, they returned to the valley. As soon as they entered the valley, a smell of flowers and plants accompanied by a thick, immortal spiritual chi rushed towards them. Lin Rei, who had been fighting for a long time, felt his mind relax a lot at this moment. Phew! This Valley of Immortals is really a good place. It's surrounded by mountains and rivers. The scenery is picturesque. In addition, there's a thick, immortal spiritual chi here. It's really a blessed place for immortals. The Valley of the Immortals. When Lin Li and the Tai ape had first found this place, Lin Li had given it a name, while the Tai ape had felt that it was a nice name. Afterwards, the Valley of the Immortals became the name of the valley. Who said it wasn't? In the endless mountain range, there's actually such a blessed place. It's really rare. But fortunately, we found it and took it for ourselves. It's not a waste. Tai Yuan, who was following behind Lin Rei, heard Lin Rei's words and sighed with emotion. He liked this place very much. It could even be said that he had fallen in love with it. Sigh. Let's not talk about it anymore. After we settle this matter quickly, I'll go into seclusion again. This time, I must break through to the middle stage of Earth Immortal. I swear I won't come out until I break through. After saying that, Lin Rei strolled into the depths of the valley. Tai Yuan, who was behind him, heard Lin Rei's words and immediately smiled. Tai Yuan was very interested in Lin Rei's words. When he heard that Lin Rei was going to take it out, Tai Yuan hurriedly followed him. His eyes were locked on Lin Rei's body, and he couldn't look away. It was as if he looked elsewhere, Lin Rei would show up. You're already a 10,000-year-old demonic beast. Why are you still acting like a child? Looking at Tai Yuan's appearance, Lin Rei muttered in his heart. Then, he walked into the depths of the valley without saying a word. It's time to call out those boys to cultivate. If they don't cultivate and fight, their bones will probably rust. When he was breaking through to the Earth Immortal stage, Lin Rei had planned to summon all the 30,000 disciples of the Nine Heaven Xuanzong Sect to quickly break through to the Earth Immortal stage or even higher. However, during this month, he had to find a new place to live and cultivate to consolidate his cultivation, so this matter was delayed. When he sensed the barrier of the middle stage of Earth Immortal, Lin Rei thought of this matter. Chapter 303. Although he hadn't been paying attention to the cultivation levels of his disciples, Lin Li had a general understanding of them. Of the 30,000 disciples, a third of them had all reached the Mahayana realm. Especially after the Bell of Cosmos, the number of disciples breaking through to the Mahayana realm had increased. Therefore, Linley hoped that when he came out, he would be able to see some of his disciples break through to the earthly, immortal realm. Soon, Lin Ray came to an open space in the center of the valley. He closed his eyes and used his divine sense to communicate with the cloud pagoda and the cosmos bell. Dong! Dong! After a while, after two loud sounds, a white jade pagoda and a golden bell appeared in the open space. However, the energy fluctuations from the two items shocked Tai Yuan, who had been following behind him, because just by looking at the surface, he felt that they were extraordinary. After sensing the energy fluctuations from the two items, Tai Yuan felt that it was even more incredible. As for Linley, who had his eyes closed, the instant the two treasures appeared, he opened his eyes, and a tired smile appeared on his face. "Hey, Linley, what are these things? They look quite extraordinary." Tai Yuan, behind him, couldn't help but ask. Hee, you'll know in a while. He didn't say it directly. This time, Tai Yuan was furious. He was very curious about the things that had been stored in the past few years. However, Lin Ray didn't want to make him lose his appetite. "Good, Lin Ray, you're good." Although he wanted to go up and beat Lin Ray up, in the end, in order to see what was inside the two items, Tai Yuan restrained himself. Huh. Seeing the look on the Tai ape's face, Linley chuckled. His gaze locked onto the two treasures, and at this moment, his divine sense completely spread out, connecting with the two treasures. With a swoosh, in an instant, without any warning, the originally spacious square was instantly filled with the secrets of 10,000 people. There were both humans and demons. This scene caused the Tai ape, who had been watching the activity ahead, to be thoroughly stunned. His eyes were wide open and filled with disbelief. His mouth was so wide open that 3 watermelons could be stuffed into it. His face was full of disbelief as he stared blankly at the tens of thousands of people in front of him. Of course, it wasn't just Tai Yuan. The tens of thousands of Xuanzong's Sect disciples were the same. They had been cultivating in the Cloud Pagoda and the Cosmos Bell, as usual. Suddenly, the scene in front of them changed. The only person they could think of was Lin Ray. Only Lin Ray had this kind of ability. After coming to their senses, the tens of thousands of Xuanzong disciples began looking for Lin Ray. The moment they turned around, Lin Ray was looking at them, smiling. Dong 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 dong. We disciples of the Xuanzong Sect pay our respects to the sect leader. The scene of tens of thousands of people kowtowing to Lin Ray was one that Lin Ray had seen before. However, the Tai Yuan behind Lin Ray had never seen such a scene before. After seeing such a scene, he was completely dumbfounded. Lin Ray, on the other hand, was all smiles as he looked at the disciples kneeling on the ground. He nodded his head, circulated his immortal spiritual energy, and said to them, "All right, all of you can get up." None of the Xuanzong Sect's disciples dared to disobey Lin Ray's orders. After hearing Lin Ray's words, tens of thousands of people all stood up and stood ramrod straight, waiting for Lin Ray's next order. I'm sure you've all felt it. This is the immortal realm that all cultivators yearn for. However, the lowest cultivation here is the earthly immortal realm. You're nothing here. I summoned you here so that you can quickly improve your cultivation and survive in the immortal realm. Only in this way can the name of our Xuanzong Sect appear in the immortal realm. The immortal realm? Ha, that's great. Lin Ray's words made the tens of thousands of disciples extremely excited. They were so excited that they were a little carried away. The scene was extremely noisy. Seeing this scene, Lin Ray's face instantly darkened. Lin Ray originally thought that they were all very outstanding, so even if they encountered something like this, they wouldn't go too far. However, Lin Ray was very disappointed. It's been a long time since I've set rules for you. You can't even handle such a small thing. I think you'd better go back and continue to be Mahayana realm cultivators. His voice wasn't very loud, but the tens of thousands of disciples who were originally very noisy instantly quieted down. Some of their faces were even filled with fear. I hope this is the last time. I'm going to go into seclusion soon. In the days when I'm not here, all the departments will be supervised by the elders. None of the departments can overstep their authority. Law enforcement department, you all have to shoulder your responsibilities. Looking at his good-for-nothing disciples, Lin Ray really had nothing to say. The good image that he had for them before was now completely destroyed. I hope that when I come out of seclusion, some of you can break through to the earthly, immortal realm. So don't let me down. After saying that, Lin Ray didn't listen to them. He directly turned around and pulled Tai Yuan in front of him. He pointed at him and said to the tens of thousands of disciples, "He, Tai Yuan, will be your instructor in the future. If someone breaks through to the earthly immortal realm, and I'm not out, then disciples who want to go out and gain experience should report to him. Let me tell you, earthly immortal realm and celestial immortal realm demonic beasts are very common here. So, don't run around, understand?" At this time, Tai Yuan was a little confused by Lin Ray's words. He didn't understand Lin Ray's words at all. He didn't seem to have agreed to such a thing. Hey, that's not right. Lin Ray, are you King tricking me again? Why don't I remember promising you this? Lin Ray acted as if he didn't hear Tai Yuan's words. He continued to call out the names of the three people in the crowd. All right, in addition to Tai Yuan, there's also Bing, Ming, and Tianyan. They're all at the peak of the earthly immortal realm. If you have any problems, you can look for them. They'll help you at any time. After saying that, Lin Ray called Bing, Ming, and Tianyan to a few disciples and gave them instructions. Yes, we'll definitely break through to the earthly immortal realm before the sect leader comes out of seclusion. Although that was what they said, Linley didn't expect that all of them would be able to break through to the earthly immortal stage. He only wanted a small portion of them to break through. However, Linley didn't feel the need to attack their promises. All right, I'll remember your words. Remember, this is your promise. Break through to the earthly immortal realm before I come out of seclusion. I'll be waiting for your surprise. After saying that, Lin Ray turned around and said to Bing and the others, "You're the strongest people in recent years, so you'd better hurry up and practice. Don't fall behind others. Also, this is the Tyrant Body Technique, an Emperor-level body tempering technique. This technique should be there. Pass down these two techniques after I leave, and let them learn them all." Yes. After hearing Lin Ray's words, they replied with a serious expression. Bing also reached out to take the two techniques and put them in front of his chest. Chapter 304. All right, Tai Yuan, I know you're feeling very aggrieved right now, but I want to tell you that you can practice this tyrant body art. You majored in physical cultivation, so this tyrant body art will be twice the result with half the effort for you. It's as if it was tailor-made for you. After telling them all the things that they needed to pay attention to after he left, he noticed the reluctant Tai Yuan beside him. Then, he immediately used the tyrant body technique to comfort Tai Yuan. However, the effect was really effective. As soon as the function of the tyrant body art was mentioned, Tai Yuan jumped up in excitement. Fortunately, they were not in a cave. If they were in Shandong, there would be a big hole in the ceiling at this moment. Seeing Tai Yuan so happy, Lin Ray was also happy. After being together for so long, the two of them have basically become sworn brothers. All right, hurry up and distribute it to them so they can practice as soon as possible. As for my disciples and brothers, I'll give it to them separately later. As he spoke, Linley dismissed all of them, then used a mental technique to notify his disciples and brothers, as well as his son, Jian, and the others. They were originally in the crowd. When they heard Lin Ray's sound transmission technique, they quickly came in front of Lin Ray and stood there obediently, looking at him respectfully. All right, I called you here to tell you that although your cultivation is not bad, there are still some people who are still in the Mayana stage. Of course, Lin Ray's words were, of course, referring to Wang Hong, Muron Yu, Su Bo, and the others who came from planet Aqua Blue. They were only in the nascent soul stage. It was still too early for them to break through to the Earth immortal stage. Big brother, when I'm not around, the few of you can practice in the bell of heaven and earth. It will increase your cultivation speed. When you reach the Mayana stage, you can break through to the Earth immortal stage. Okay. Su Bo and the other two, who had been listening to Linley this entire time, knew that they weren't strong enough to break through to the earth immortal level. Thus, they were quite satisfied with Linley's arrangements and weren't dissatisfied at all. As for the rest of you, when you were in the profound heaven realm, you were already in the Mahayana realm, and after so many years of consolidation, you should be able to break through very soon. Therefore, take these two techniques. You're not going to break through your cultivation base. The next step is to cultivate your human flesh. As he spoke, Lin Ray took out the two cultivation techniques that he had given to Bing and distributed them to everyone. These cultivation methods are very complete. Even those sects in the immortal realm may not necessarily have these cultivation methods. Therefore, when you learn them, these two cultivation methods must be burned. Lin Ray's words made them cautious, because they knew that Lin Ray's things were the best. Yes, I understand, Brother Lei, young master. Looking at them, Lin Ray was very reluctant to go into seclusion immediately. He had not seen these people for a long time. Ever since he went into seclusion on planet Aqua Blue, he had not seen them. In the blink of an eye, it had been more than 10 years. In addition, when he was in the profound heaven realm, he had disappeared. Lin Ray felt that Lin Ray felt very guilty towards Wan Yu and the others. Little Yu, you've been the eldest for the past few years. Master is not here, so you have to take care of them well. Make sure they cultivate well, and don't be lazy. You've always been very good. Don't you think it's okay to waste it like this? Before leaving, Linley had no choice but to stop once more. However, Linley knew that none of his disciples would allow him to make a sound. Only his eldest disciple would be able to do so. Thus, he could only leave the task of watching over them to his eldest disciple later. Yes, Master, don't worry. This disciple will remember Master's words. Watch over my juniors and won't let them be lazy. At this time, Wan Yu was very happy. When she mentioned watching over them, her tone became more serious. As she spoke, Wan Yu's gaze was fixed on her 4 juniors. Hiss! The moment Wan Yu finished speaking, the estranged people all shuddered. Cold sweat dripped down their foreheads. Master did not understand what Wan Yu had said, but they knew the meaning behind it. Good. As expected of a good disciple. All right, go and cultivate. Remember, cultivate well. I've already opened the doors to the 2 treasures. You can go in whenever you want. They don't have any restrictions on you. After he finished speaking, Lin Ray did not give them a chance. His body flashed, and he disappeared on the spot. Sigh, Lin Ray. Right at this moment, the Thai ape, who had been hurrying over, seemed to understand something. Just as he was about to go find Linley, he found out through some people that Linley had already gone into secluded meditation. Unless he came out of secluded meditation, no one would be able to find him. Sigh, it seems I'm still a step too late. Forget it. I'll just guide your disciples. At this time, Tai Yuan had already learned all the information about Lin Ray from the other disciples. As for the treasures mentioned before, no matter how much they killed, they should know what they were by now. Everything began to operate according to Lin Ray's instructions. Wan Yu and the other clansmen chose a place to cultivate and began to break through to the earthly immortal realm. The young man and Lin Tian did the same. Tens of thousands of disciples began to cultivate. However, it was strange that tens of thousands of people were cultivating. This was not a small number. The requirement for immortal spiritual qi was very strict. The amount of immortal spiritual qi absorbed by tens of thousands of people was huge. However, in the Valley of Immortals, there was no sign of immortal spiritual qi being consumed. As for Linley, after leaving the Valley of Immortals and returning to the system, he didn't even hesitate before going into closed-door training. He didn't know anything about what was going on in the outside world. Right now, Linley's goal was to break through to the Middle Earth immortal stage. The 2 divine guardian beasts of the Xuanzong sect, the little golden dragon and the black dragon, Lin Ray could not give them their cultivation methods. This was because he knew that as dragons, how could they not have an inheritance? Therefore, Lin Ray was not worried about cultivation methods at all. When they learned that this was the immortal realm, the little golden dragon did not say anything. He directly gathered his body together and began to absorb immortal spiritual chi crazily. Of course, the black dragon did not show any weakness. The moment the little golden dragon began to cultivate, the black dragon followed closely behind and entered a state of cultivation. Time passed little by little. Unknowingly, 3 years had passed since Lin Rei's closed-door cultivation. In these 3 years, Wan Yu and the other 4 had all broken through to the earthly immortal realm and consolidated their cultivation. However, what was even more exciting was that among the tens of thousands of disciples, none of them were left behind. Wang Hong, on the other hand, had cultivated to the peak of the Mahayana realm. Everything that had happened had exceeded Lin Li's expectations and had exceeded everyone's expectations as well. Chapter 305. Phew! Hurry up, hurry up! At this time, Lin Rei, who had been in closed-door training for 3 years, was sitting in the system space. His face was flushed, his eyebrows were knitted, and he was sweating profusely. If I don't break through today, then all my hard work will be in vain. It turned out that Lin Rei had broken through to the middle stage of earthly immortal in 3 years. Originally, he had planned to break through to the middle stage of earthly immortal. However, as soon as he broke through to the middle stage of earthly immortal, Lin Rei gave up the idea of breaking through to the middle stage of earthly immortal. After 3 years, Lin Rei, who was supposed to break through to the middle stage of earthly immortal, found it extremely difficult to break through to the middle stage of earthly immortal. Today, after 3 years, Lin Rei had planned to break through to the middle stage of earthly immortal. However, just as he was about to break through to the middle stage of earthly immortal, the middle stage of earthly immortal suddenly loosened. This made Lin Rei very disgusted. Faced with the temptation of breaking through, Lin Rei gave up the idea of breaking through to the middle stage of earthly immortal. He calmed down and began to mobilize all his immortal spiritual chi to break through to the middle stage of earthly immortal. At this moment, Lin Rei was determined to break through to the middle stage of earthly immortal if he couldn't break through to the middle stage of earthly immortal. He didn't want to waste time here. Maybe he could break through to the middle stage of earthly immortal if he fought outside. Boom! The sound of a collision rang out from within Lin Li's body. Puff! Lin Rei suddenly spat out a mouthful of blood. His face instantly turned pale. What Lin Li didn't know was that the blood he spat out was purple in color. This was something he hadn't expected. It was as though he had forgotten what Xiaolong had said to him, that he shouldn't bleed easily. Oh, you bastard. When I was about to break through to the middle stage of earthly immortal, you didn't show up. When I didn't want to break through to the middle stage of earthly immortal, you showed up. Are you playing with me? At that moment, Lin Rei's consciousness was still in his body. Looking at the loosened barrier, Lin Rei roared at it in annoyance. No way. I'm going to make a breakthrough today. I don't believe that you can stay here forever. Lin Rei, who had never been convinced by anyone, was even more unconvinced by this barrier. Therefore, after another failure, Lin Rei once again gathered all the immortal spiritual energy in his body. This time, Lin Rei was determined to break through to the high stage of earthly immortal. Sigh, this child, can't you stop worrying? I've already told you not to bleed so easily. Don't bleed so easily. Look at you, you spat out so much at once. In the outside world, after Lin Rei vomited blood, the little dragon instantly rushed out of the system. Looking at the purple blood on the ground, it immediately frowned. This is great. I wanted to let you hide for a few more days. Now that you've done this, it seems that those fortune tellers have already detected a trace of the heavenly mystery. In the most central area of the immortal realm, in a huge and bustling palace, an old man was calculating something in his hand. His fingers were quickly pinching together. Suddenly, the old man's face broke into a smile. He was very happy, as if something good had happened. Whoosh! Suddenly, he opened his eyes, and a bright light flashed in his eyes. He quickly looked at the middle-aged man who was still sitting in the main hall. He was wearing a luxurious robe and had a jade-like complexion. No one noticed that he was being tricked in the main hall. Reporting to Immortal Master Qian Kuan, this old man has followed your instructions and helped you calculate the person with the purple blood. Before I had a clue, a trace of the heavenly mystery appeared. After this old man's investigation, the person with the purple blood is in the west. As for the specific location, this old man doesn't know. The person with the purple blood seems to have something on him that conceals the heavenly mystery. This old man only calculated that he was in the west. After that, it became a blur and everything was clear. At this moment, the people below looked nervous. Their bodies were trembling non-stop, as if they were very afraid of the middle-aged man sitting at the top. The disciple of the heavenly mystery diviner, is indeed not ordinary. Although your answer didn't satisfy me, at least you didn't fool me like the others. Don't worry. This senior is a person who will reward those who contribute. Your contribution is great. Later, if you want anything, go and find the juniors of the Qian Kuan sect. I have already ordered them to give you everything you want. But remember, don't let anyone know about what happened today. If I find out that you told anyone, boom. After a cold snort, the old man froze on the spot, as if he had received a shock. Blood flowed out from his ears. After a long while, the old man reluctantly came back to his senses and respectfully said to the middle-aged man, "Yes, Senior Immortal. Don't worry. This old man will remember today's matter in his heart and won't let anyone know. At least you know your place. All right, you can leave now. There is no need for you to do anything else." With that, the middle-aged man sitting at the top waved his hand, and Nian suddenly disappeared from the palace. He finally appeared. I didn't expect that the man with purple blood would be in the immortal world. If I can catch him and report to the people in the divine world, perhaps I can break through to that realm very quickly. When there was no one else in the hall, the middle-aged man opened his eyes. His pupils were filled with greed as he looked towards the west. It was as if he could not hold himself back any longer and was about to rush to the west and capture the person with purple blood. Go to the west. No matter what method you use, you must bring back the man with purple blood. If anyone tries to stop you, no matter who they are, kill them without mercy. For an immortal master like him, he couldn't leave his place easily. Moreover, he couldn't go to other places. Therefore, at this moment, the Qian Kuan immortal master could only order his subordinates. Swoosh! As soon as the Qian Kuan immortal master finished his words, a man in black appeared in midair. He knelt down and replied to the Qian Kuan immortal master. All right, this subordinate will definitely complete the task given by the master. As soon as he finished speaking, the black-robed man flashed and disappeared in the air, disappearing from the hall. Looking at the disappearance of the man in black, the Qian Kuan immortal master put his hands behind his back and looked towards the west. He smiled and didn't say anything. At this moment, Lin Rei, who was being targeted, was at a critical moment. He didn't know that the little dragon had already known about this and didn't tell him. Chapter 306. At this time, Lin Rei's face was red, and the top of his head was emitting an exaggerated amount of steam. However, the aura around his body was slowly climbing. As I said, if I can't break through this time, I won't break through. Look at you. You're asking for a beating. Lin Rei looked inside and saw that the barrier of the late Earth immortal stage had begun to crack. However, the condensed immortal spiritual chi did not weaken at all. Instead, it was increasing little by little. As time passed, Lin Rei's immortal spiritual chi became more and more intense, and the aura around his body was also climbing to a high level. Break for me! With a roar, the immortal spiritual chi instantly broke through the cracked barrier of the late Earth immortal stage. Lin Rei's body trembled, and a majestic and strong immortal spiritual chi instantly rushed out of Lin Rei's body from the inside out. Not bad. I didn't expect you to break through to the late Earth immortal stage so quickly. The little dragon, who had been observing Lin Ray's actions, appeared above the space where Lin Ray was in seclusion after sensing the aura of the late Earth immortal stage. With a smile on his face, he looked at the system's successor that he had nurtured step by step. His heart was filled with pride. Of course, if Linley knew what he was thinking at this moment, he would definitely stand up and tell him that he was shameless, regardless of whether he was breaking through or not. Someone must have found the location of Homing's supreme physique. However, as a friend, I have concealed your accurate information. Now, they only know which direction you are in. So continue to work hard. Lin Ray did not hear the little dragon's words. If he did, there would be a scene of blood flowing into space at this moment. Phew, this feeling is not bad. The peak of the Earth immortal stage is indeed the peak. If I were to face the Tai Ape now, I probably wouldn't lose so miserably. After sensing the aura of a peak stage Earth immortal, Linley thought back to the battle he had had with the Tai Ape 3 years ago. For a moment, Linley really wanted to go out and do battle with the Tai Ape right now. Let's see if he would be able to win 3 years later. He opened his eyes and looked at the pitch-black system space. A bright light flashed in his eyes, and the aura of the peak of the Earth immortal realm was instantly withdrawn. Crack! 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 As Lin Ray stood up, the sound of bones cracking could be heard from his body. It was enough to make anyone who heard it shudder. Phew, this feels so F***ing good. Lin Ray laughed as he felt the comfort of his body. Time passed quickly. After thousands of years of cultivation, Linley had no idea how long he had been in closed-door training. But he knew that he had been in closed-door training for a long time. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been able to break through to the peak of the earthly immortal realm. As he thought about this, Linley willed it, and the pitch-black scene in front of him suddenly began to change. In the next instant, Linley's figure appeared in the center of the Valley of Immortals. The fluctuation of an earthly immortal from Lin Ray's body made the tens of thousands of disciples who had been sitting here cultivating open their eyes instantly. They looked at the source of the fluctuation of energy with sharp eyes. Everyone was stunned when they saw the figure in the source of the fluctuation of energy. Then they quickly gave up their cultivation, stood up, and kowtowed to Lin Ray with a plop. We disciples of Xuanzong's sect pay our respects to the sect leader. As soon as he spoke, his voice spread out from the center of the Valley of Immortals. In an instant, there were still demonic beasts playing around. Some of the demonic beasts that were fighting with all their might. But under the shock of the voice, they all stopped and quickly fled in all directions. It wasn't just the demonic beasts. Even the Tai Ape and some people who were in seclusion in the caves gave up their cultivation decisively when they heard that Lin Ray had come out of seclusion. They came out of seclusion and instantly came to where Lin Ray was. At this moment, Lin Ray stood straight in the center of the Valley of Immortals. His long black hair fluttered in the wind, and his long robe moved without wind. His eyes were full of contempt for everything, which made people tremble. Ha ha ha, Lin Ray, you finally came out of seclusion. A hearty laugh rang out from behind them. As for Linley, as soon as he heard this voice, he began to laugh, because only the Tai Ape would dare to speak in such a manner in front of Linley. Turning around, he looked at Tai Yuan and the others, who were walking towards him. Smiling, Linley smiled at them, then turned around and looked at the tens of thousands of disciples still kneeling on the ground as he spoke. All of you stand up. Yes, we will obey the decree. Swoosh. The moment he finished speaking, the tens of thousands of disciples stood up in an orderly manner. They didn't say a word and just stood there. After Lin Ray's words 3 years ago, they never made such a low-level mistake again. Not bad. Looking at the neat formation in front of him, just like the army on planet Aqua Blue, Lin Ray felt very gratified. He closed his eyes and didn't say a word. He released his divine sense in an instant and wrapped it around the tens of thousands of disciples. He began to check their cultivation. What? At this moment, it was as though Lin Ray had just discovered a new era. His heart was filled with shock as he looked at them. Looking at these disciples whom he hadn't seen for 3 years, he was so emotional that he didn't know what to say. It turned out that the moment Lin Ray checked their cultivation bases, Lin Ray realized that they were all Earth immortals. In fact, some of them had even reached Earth immortal middle stage. This was something that Lin Ray had never thought of, nor did he dare to think of. He had always thought that those words 3 years ago were just a joke, and he had never taken them seriously. But today, 3 years later, Lin Ray had really thought that they would do it. Ha ha! Good. With disciples like these, how can our Xuanzong sect not have to worry about growing stronger? Ha ha ha! Tai Ape and the other people behind him and the tens of thousands of disciples understood Lin Ray's feelings when they saw his actions. Hee hee. All right, there are so many people watching. Aren't you afraid of embarrassing yourself? Looking at how brazen Jin Meng was laughing without any regard for his image as the master of a sect, Tai Ape couldn't hold it in any longer and hurried forward to dissuade him. Hearing Tai Ape's words, Lin Ray snapped back to reality and tidied up his robes, trying his best to calm down. Cough, cough. You've done well. Ahem. Well, you've done well. I've seen your efforts and hard work. I'm proud of you for your current achievements, but this is far from enough. You should know that your current strength is only at the bottom of the immortal realm. What we need to do is to become the overlord of the immortal realm. We need to see the scene of thousands of sects coming to pay homage to us. Lin Ray's words had everyone below stunned. That was because Lin Ray's thoughts were something that none of them had ever thought of before. All they knew was that raising their cultivation states and being loyal to the sect was what they had to do. Chapter 307. Well, for your efforts, I will reward you accordingly. As long as you break through to the earthly immortal realm, each of you will be rewarded with a bottle of heaven-grade elixir, no matter what kind of elixir it is. As for those who break through to the middle stage of earthly immortal realm, you will get 3 bottles of heaven-grade elixir and a heaven-grade formation map. The formation map can be activated as long as you inject immortal spiritual chi into it. Heaven-grade formations can at least trap celestial immortals, but it can only control them. Wow. The moment Lin Ray finished speaking, the ordinary disciples below, the elders behind him, and Tai Yuan were all stunned. What did he mean by trapping a celestial immortal realm cultivator and not killing him? Trapping a celestial immortal realm cultivator was already very powerful. Although Lin Ray was prepared for their reaction, he was still frightened by it. Lin Ray, you've underestimated yourself. I didn't see you use the formation map before. If you had used it earlier, maybe I wouldn't have won. At this moment, Tai Yuan remembered that Lin Ray didn't use the formation map when he fought with him. Therefore, Tai Yuan's fighting spirit burst out instantly. He wanted to fight with Lin Ray. Tai Yuan's actions caused Lin Li to be startled. And then, he hurriedly moved backwards, a smile on his face as he spoke to Tai Yuan. Well, Tai Yuan, this matter needs to be discussed at length. The main reason I came out of seclusion this time is to be able to seek a breakthrough through experience, battles, and opportunities. Therefore, I'll leave after giving them some instructions. It wasn't that Lin Ray didn't want to fight with a celestial immortal realm cultivator. What he said before was the truth. After this matter was over, he would leave the endless mountains and go to the boundless immortal realm to see what it was like and seek a breakthrough. Moreover, Lin Ray came out of seclusion for the most important thing, which was the future development of his tens of thousands of disciples. Thus, there was nothing Lin Li could do about Tai Yuan's request. Thus, he couldn't agree. You're leaving? Upon hearing Lin Ray's intentions, Tai Yuan reluctantly asked. Tai Yuan had never considered the possibility of Lin Ray leaving. He thought that since this place had everything, there was no need for Lin Ray to leave. But now, reality proved that he was wrong. Yes, these simple words were enough to express a lot of emotions that Lin Ray didn't say. Tai Yuan knew what Lin Ray meant. But don't worry, I'll cultivate diligently after we get out of here. When I break through to the Emperor level, I'll come back and help you transform. Then, You can accompany me to explore this dangerous, immortal world. Linley was very curious about the matter of transfiguration. Logically speaking, Mahayana stage monsters should be able to transfigure into human form after eating a transfiguration pill. But this was looking down on celestial immortals, who were still unable to transfigure and could only speak. Therefore, when Lin Ray became friends with the Tai ape, it was a big deal. Later, when his alchemy realm increased, he would help the Tai ape transform into a human. Yes, I got it. You can go. Although there are no ifs in the outside world, I always listen to what they say. The outside world is a place that eats people without spitting out the bones. After you get out, you have to be careful. I'll wait for you to come back in the endless world. The words, wait for you to come back, contained a lot. When Lin Ray heard Tai Yuan's words, his eyes unconsciously became misty. Huh, look at you. After feeling the strangeness in his eyes, Lin Ray quickly controlled his emotions and tried his best not to let his tears fall. However, at this moment, the memories of the past few years where he had lived with the Tai ape kept resurfacing in his mind. Although the Tai ape was a monster beast, when he had no time to break through, the Tai ape would always bring him food. When he fought, the Tai ape would always watch from the side, as if it was afraid that he would be hurt. It would always take care of him in every possible way. Therefore, at this moment, Lin Ray's feelings for Tai Yuan had long surpassed a normal friendship. At this moment, Tai Yuan was like a family member. Seeing his family member about to leave him, he felt reluctant and sad. All right, when he saw Tai Yuan's appearance, Lin Ray quickly turned his back to Tai Yuan. He quickly shifted his emotions and looked at the tens of thousands of disciples. All of you, your mission this time is to disperse and go anonymously to the various large sects to cultivate. I'll give you 100 years. No matter how far you've broken through in 100 years, remember, you only have 100 years. Also, when you're cultivating in the other sects, do not tell anyone about the Xuanzong sect, whether it's your lover or anyone else. If I find out that you've broken the rules I set, I don't need to say much about the consequences. When a mission was announced, everyone was surprised. However, as disciples, how could they refuse Lin Ray's mission? We will follow the sect master's orders. We will not overdraft any information about the sect to anyone. After 100 years, we will definitely succeed in our cultivation and repay the sect. Seeing the tens of thousands of disciples nodding their heads, Lin Ray smiled slightly. He turned to Bing, Ming, and the others behind him and said seriously, "This time, you all have to participate. This time, all of you have to participate as well. However, this time, the mission I'm giving you is to bring some people to the east, west, south, and central. Use all of your life's efforts to establish a sect that belongs to you." After hearing Lin Ray's mission, Bing, Ming, and the others were stunned for a moment. They were full of doubts and asked Jin Yang again, "Young master, is what you said true?" Ming's words happened to be what the others wanted to ask. When Ming's words came out, everyone's eyes were fixed on Lin Ray. They were full of expectations for what he would say next. "Yes, you didn't hear wrong. I want you to go to these 5 places and use your own abilities to establish your own sections. Similarly, I'll give you 100 years. In 100 years, I want to hear the name of your sects in the entire immortal realm. Of course, that includes your names." However, in an instant, the people who thought Lin Ray's words were overheard. When they heard Lin Ray's words, their eyes were fixed on Lin Ray again. They were full of curiosity as they waited for his next words. "Young man, you don't have to establish a sect." "What? That's too good." Linley's words made everyone suspicious, including the manager's younger brother. He didn't understand what Linley was trying to say. "You don't have to establish a sect. However, my request is that you have to rebuild Jiutian Trading Company. I believe that you have the ability to do so." At this moment, they all took a step back. If they had known that establishing a sect was just a matter of strength and prestige, it would have been better. However, establishing a trading company was different. It required brains and, at the same time, courage, wisdom and calculation at the same time. They asked themselves, except for the young man, no one else in the group could accomplish this task. The others were depressed, but the young man was different. When he learned that his task was to rebuild Jotian Trading Company, he smiled happily. Okay, I agree. Hearing their response, Linley nodded. He took out 10 or so storage rings and handed them over to them as he spoke calmly to them. These are the starting funds for you. I believe that with them, you'll be able to complete your mission much faster. At the same time, there are many heaven-grade elixirs and a peak heaven-grade array diagram for each of you. They can be used to set up your sect protection array when you choose a sect. There are also some things that can be used to contact me. Chapter 308. Hearing Lin Ray's words, Bing and the others came in front of Lin Ray one by one. They took a storage ring, dripped their blood on it, and made it their own storage ring. Seeing that they had all taken away the things, Lin Ray was relieved. If these things were not given to them today, let alone the sect, it would be good if they could come back after 100 years. Well, you have all taken the things. After you go out, remember, we are not people who look for trouble, but we are not people who are afraid of trouble either. The outside world is not like here. The people outside are not much kinder than the monsters. After you go out, other than being able to trust yourself and your companions in the Xuanzong sect, don't trust anyone else, no matter who they are. For these newbies who had never experienced the outside world, Lin Ray had to remind them. He didn't want to go out with more than a dozen people and come back with only 2 or 3 left. This was not the result he wanted. Yes, master, young master, sect leader, second brother, big brother, especially you guys. You haven't experienced such a world where the strong are respected. This is not a society ruled by law like ours. Here, unless you have the strength, you are nothing here. Therefore, don't act rashly here. At this moment, Lin Ray was very relieved about them. Of course, except for the new members, Wang Hong, Su Bo, and Murong Yu, they all lived in a peaceful era. So, for this kind of world where the strong were respected, they were still very uncomfortable. Moreover, they had been here for 3 years. Other than cultivation, they were still cultivating. They had no chance to go out and experience the world. So, Lin Ray was still quite worried about them. Aya, second brother, just treat it as 120 heart. We are not stupid. At this time, the most unreliable of the 3, Su Bo, came out and said to Lin Ray. Listening to his tone, he seemed to be very eager to go out and see the outside world. All right. Since you're so determined, I won't say anything more. You have a communication jade slip with you. It can call the nearest Xuanzong sect disciple. However, the number of times you can use it is limited. Cherish the number of times you can use it. Finally, the warning was over. Lin Ray turned around and looked at the tens of thousands of disciples in front of him. He couldn't help but feel excited. To be honest, it wasn't just Su Bo and the others who longed for the outside of the immortal world. Even Lin Ray wasn't surprised. When he came to the immortal world, he wanted to go out and see what the immortal world was like. His dream was about to come true, so he was very anxious. All right, since you know your mission, then do your best. I hope that after 100 years, you'll be able to break through your limits and return here. Yes, we will definitely return in 100 years. After everything was settled, Lin Ray took the lead and excitedly walked out of the endless mountain range. The tens of thousands of disciples followed closely behind him like a dragon. They were like Lin Ray. Before Lin Ray left, he put away the Cloud Pagoda and the Cosmos Bell. They were very important to Lin Ray. They were necessary even if there was no hope. Along the way, Linley once again gave his disciples, brothers, and son a few words of advice. Little you, your personality is the most lively and eccentric. When you go out, I won't be there to protect you. So, don't throw a tantrum. When you encounter something, calm down and think of a solution. And all of you, be careful when you're outside. Don't be too wild. Remember, after 100 years, all of you have to come back and let me test your cultivation. If you don't meet my expectations, then I won't be willing. Looking at the children that he had watched grow up, They were all orphans that Lin Ray had taken in and raised. Of course, other than Cullen and Estranged. When it was time to leave, Lin Ray was very reluctant and sad. Of course, he was most worried about their safety. Woo! Right now, Lin Wanyu and the others, upon hearing Linley's demonic words, instantly began to cry. Their crying was a complete mess. His entire body was covered in tears, and he couldn't stop it no matter how hard he tried. All right, how old are you now? Don't cry. As long as you all come back safely, that is Master's greatest wish. Just like that, they chatted as they arrived at the exit of the Endless Mountains. At the exit, Linley stared at the boundless immortal realm, filled with the desire to do battle. All right, you all can go. Cultivate well, and pay attention to your own safety. Turning around, he said a few words to the people behind him, then left. Before leaving, Linley said goodbye to the Tai ape, and then, without looking back, he flew off into the air. Only when he had disappeared from their sight did they regain their senses. Whoosh, 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 whoosh. In the blink of an eye, the tens of thousands of disciples, after Linley's back had completely disappeared, quickly left the exit of the Skyen Mountains. In the blink of an eye, tens of thousands of people had disappeared from this place. The only people left behind were the disciples and friends that he had spent 3 years with. Tai Yuan, who couldn't go with them, wept inwardly. Lin Ray, wait for me. In 100 years, I will do my best to improve my strength. I hope that when you come back in 100 years, you won't forget about me. With that, Tai Yuan withdrew his reluctant gaze, then turned around and walked into the depths of the endless mountain range. The tens of thousands of disciples of the Xuanzong sect, including sect leader Lin Ray, left the endless mountain range. They felt like fish in the sea, flying freely in the sky. Although it was still very difficult for an earthly immortal to fly, Lin Ray still felt great flying. After leaving the endless mountain range, Lin Ray headed east. Along the way, he met some people with high cultivation. However, they all looked at Lin Ray with disdain. It was as if people with cultivation like Lin Ray were not worthy of their attention. The immortal realm was a very vast world. It had been more than a month since Lin Ray left the endless mountain range. However, after flying for so long, Lin Ray didn't see a single village, town. Of course, Lin Ray still enjoyed the journey. After all, the scenery was not for show. Along the way, Lin Ray saw all kinds of scenery, such as cliffs and streams, rivers flowing backwards, and beautiful mountains and clear waters. However, at this moment, Lin Ray only wanted to find someone to ask. How much further did it take to reach a town? Sigh. The immortal realm is too big. If I flew like this before, I wouldn't even know how many aquamarine planets I've flown over, let alone one. Why is this still the wilderness? Originally, Lin Ray thought that entering the immortal realm for the first time would give him a different feeling. Now, he really felt that the bigger the place, the more uncomfortable it was. Chapter 309. There was no one along the way. Lin Ray had no choice. Since he had been flying for so long, he couldn't say that he would stop now and then go back here. Just like that, Linley continued to fly for 3 more days. Heaven does not disappoint those who persevere. Finally, on the evening of the 3rd day, the silhouette of an enormous city appeared in front of Linley's eyes. Staring at the blurry outline of the city, Linley slowly flew towards it. However, a short while later, Linley discovered that the closer he got to the city, the more he sensed a formless pressure. It was almost invisible. Although the pressure was minuscule, Linley, who had dual heaven-level alchemy arrays, was still able to sense it. Originally, Lin Ray thought that it was nothing. Maybe it was just a coincidence, so he didn't pay much attention to it. Suddenly, when he flew forward for about 30 meters, a horrible pressure instantly pressed down on Lin Ray. Boom! In an instant, Lin Ray, who was not flying steadily in the immortal realm, accidentally lost his balance and fell from the sky when the pressure came. Lin Ray was helpless in this situation. At the same time, he was powerless. He didn't know if this situation would happen to others. Anyway, he was already like this now. Falling from the sky at a very fast speed, Lin Ray, who was about to land more than 10 meters from the ground, suddenly burst out the cultivation of the earth immortal realm in his body and stopped his falling body in an instant. Cold sweat inadvertently overflowed from his forehead. Although he was confident in his physical body, he couldn't help but be a little panicked by the sudden situation just now. Phew. Damn, luckily I controlled it in time. Otherwise, TSK. The slightly panicked Lin Ray, in order to prevent any accidents from happening, immediately landed on the ground and didn't dare to fly forward anymore. At this moment, Lin Ray was very unhappy. Originally, he was flying well, but this sudden situation made him so embarrassed. No one would be willing to let it go. Immediately, he stood in place and closed his eyes. The moment he closed his eyes, his divine sense was released. The spiritual power of the peak of the heaven stage and the divine sense of the earthly immortal realm instantly arrived at the spot where the accident happened. With that as the center, they began to explore the surroundings. The first thing that entered his eyes was the might and pressure of dissatisfaction in the sky. Following up on these clues, Lin Ray's spiritual sense slowly probed the area where the might and pressure were denser. The closer he got to the place where the pressure was denser, the more shocked Lin Ray became. When his divine sense arrived in front of a huge and majestic ancient city, Lin Ray discovered that the pressure was coming from the walls of the ancient city. For a moment, Lin Ray was both surprised and delighted. Suddenly, there was a burst of laughter. Lin Ray's consciousness was instantly sent back into Lin Ray's body. Trembling, Lin Ray, who had returned to his body, opened his eyes instantly. Shock and fear flashed in Lin Ray's eyes. What's going on? What was that just now? At this moment, when he recalled the voice that had sent him flying, Lin Ray still felt terrified. He even felt that there was a pair of eyes around him that had been watching him. Swish! Hearing the strange sound, Lin Ray raised his head. Suddenly, a figure flew directly over his head. What happened to him just now did not happen to this passerby. Seeing this, Lin Ray was full of doubts and curiosity at the same time. Alas, forget it. I don't want to think about it. Anyway, I have to enter the city. It's not too late to talk about it. After entering the city, following his heart, Lin Ray lifted his feet and walked slowly toward the city not far away. He really wanted to fly away, but at least in that kind of situation, Lin Ray did not want to have a second time in his life. Lin Ray's actions made the people who were flying in the air feel puzzled. They were quite naive. Why would someone foolishly walk on foot? However, they were just curious. There was nothing else. Anyway, it had nothing to do with them. Walking on foot was neither near nor far. Lin Ray walked for a full 2 hours before he arrived in front of the city with difficulty. Phew, I'm finally here. After arriving in front of the city, Lin Ray took a deep breath and raised his head. What entered his eyes was a feeling of grandeur that made Lin Ray feel. When you first saw this ancient city, the words simple, grand, magnificent, and grand would appear in your mind. At the same time, the word not simple would also appear. However, at the same time, this city looked like it had not been refurbished for a long time. The city walls were full of potholes and looked very tattered. However, in Lin Ray's heart, this city was not simple at all. It was able to emit such a huge pressure and was able to stand here. Lin Ray believed that there was a story behind it. After regaining his senses from the grandeur of the city, Lin Ray slowly walked toward the city's interior. However, just as he reached the entrance, he was stopped by the 2 guards on the city gate tower. Hey, little brother, this is your first time here. Lin Ray, who had met them once in the mysterious sky continent, thought that these 2 would be the same as the one in the mysterious sky continent. In the end, Lin Ray was wrong. A gentle and caring voice entered Lin Ray's ears. Yes, what's the matter? Hearing the guard's words, Lin Ray was stunned for a moment. After regaining his senses, he quickly responded to the 2 guards. Then, little brother, you have to be careful. These 2 days, Jingcheng City has not been peaceful. So it's best if you don't cause trouble at this time, understand? Listening to the words of the two unfamiliar guards, Lin Ray nodded to show that he understood. It seemed that he was not shocked by what they said at all. However, what they didn't know was that if Linley were to tell them what he had sensed on the walls of this ancient city, it would definitely be even more shocking than what they had just said. Okay, this is your waste token. Remember our words, with your cultivation, it is simply like living on the tip of a knife. So, only people who always have a waste token can buy a house in the city. Listening to their words, Lin Ray did not even think about it. He took the waste token and let me say goodbye to them. Then, he stepped into the inner part of Jingqing City. Sigh. Young people nowadays are so impatient. I hope you can remember what we just said, otherwise, I'm afraid. Having said that, the guard did not continue. On the other hand, when the guard on the other side saw that his companion was worried about a stranger, his face instantly showed a helpless expression. You don't have to worry about them. Whether they're safe or not, that is their good fortune. Every day, a few people who enter Jingcheng City will die. So, there's no need for you to worry about someone you don't know. Who knows, he might become a corpse tomorrow. Chapter 310. At this moment, Lin Ray was deeply aware of the saying, "You can't judge a book by its cover." Originally, he had thought that there would not be many people in such a dilapidated ancient city. However, the moment Lin Ray entered the city, he no longer thought so. It was just a simple step into the city, but the difference was earth-shattering. The outside of the city was desolate, but the inside of the city was bustling with life. In the city, it was very prosperous. There were all kinds of stalls hawking their wares. At first glance, they were all here to buy things. He walked into the city curiously and looked at the things on the stalls. He did not recognize any of them. However, the things being hawked all had some celestial spiritual chi. Elixirs, formation talismans, weapons, and even some rare spiritual herbs that were not common in the mortal world could be found here. Along the way, Lin Ray saw all the prosperity of the capital city. He was very curious. He was curious about the ancient city and the people inside. At this time, Lin Ray was deeply attracted by everything here. Little brother, look at this thing. It was unearthed from the tomb of the immortal emperor. I heard that it has the effect of helping the owner to improve his cultivation. Look at this thing. Suddenly, a hand reached out from the side and stopped Lin Ray, who was walking forward. The sudden situation stunned Lin Ray for a moment. Why do I feel that the stall owner's cultivation is higher than mine? It turned out that the moment the stall owner's hand touched Lin Ray felt his cultivation from the injury. What shocked Lin Ray was that the stall owner's cultivation was at the early stage of the fairy immortal realm. Feeling this, Lin Ray was embarrassed. Little brother, look at this thing again. It's amazing. This elixir is called the daily average elixir. As long as you eat it, you can break through the earthly immortal realm and reach the fairy immortal realm. There is only one of it in this shop. Don't miss it. Just when Lin Ray heard the words little brother and felt embarrassed, the stall owner took out a pill and started to boast about it. It would have been fine if the person being pulled was an ordinary cultivator, but the person he pulled was Lin Ray, who was a heaven-grade alchemist. He still knew about alchemy. Lin Ray couldn't help but sneer as he watched the stall owner obtain the medicinal pills in his hands. What's wrong? Don't tell me you think I'm lying. Why don't you feel the immortal spiritual energy inside it? As he spoke, the stall owner shoved the pill in his hand in front of Lin Ray, wanting him to check the remaining immortal spiritual energy within. He even put on an expression that said, "If you don't believe me, you can smell it." Instantly, Lin Ray felt awkward. If he was going to expose it. After all, Lin Ray was a celestial immortal expert. If he didn't expose the fact that he was forcing him to buy something, then Lin Ray would really be in a dilemma. "Yo, madman, you're lying again." The sudden voice broke the awkward silence. At this moment, Linley was silently thanking the person who had spoken up in the nick of time. "Little brother, don't listen to his nonsense. Although the medicinal pills in his hands are effective, the immortal spiritual energy and medicinal properties in his pills have already dissipated. There's only a small amount of immortal spiritual energy left. Therefore, when you meet someone you don't know, you'll buy it as soon as you hear the effects. Hearing the words of the person who exposed him, Lin Ray instantly burst out laughing. Lin Ray didn't deny the situation of the medicinal pills. He even agreed that it was so. However, when he heard what the stall owner said next, Lin Ray couldn't hold it in anymore. Little brother, his medicinal pills are like this, but mine are all real. If it's fake, I'll compensate you tenfold. Why don't you take a look? Hearing their words, Lin Ray helplessly pulled his hand out of the stall owner's hand and hurriedly rejected their request. I'm sorry. I don't want to buy any medicinal pills. Besides, I'm an alchemist. Wouldn't it be ridiculous to let an alchemist buy medicinal pills? He had no choice. If he couldn't offend them, he could only reveal his identity as an alchemist. Only in this way could he escape from both sides and even escape unscathed. Sure enough, the moment the two people heard that he was an alchemist, their bodies instinctively took 2 steps back. Their faces were full of fear. I'm sorry, sir. We shouldn't have shown off in front of you like this. Sir, take a look at what I have here. If you can use it, please take it. I only ask that you don't blame us for what happened today. Plop. The 2 people who had just bought the medicinal pills quickly knelt on the ground and kowtowed to Lin Ray, begging for forgiveness. The sudden situation caught Lin Ray off guard. The people in front of him were all people with higher cultivation than him. Lin Ray was very puzzled. He didn't understand why they were acting like this. You guys quickly get up. I won't speak of anything that happened today. As he spoke, Linley hurriedly stepped forward and helped the people who were kneeling on the ground up. He then made a promise to them. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. The 2 people who had just stood up were no longer pulling him like before. At this moment, they were looking at Lin Ray with a respectful expression. Their attitude was also very respectful. The surrounding people also saw the situation just now. However, they only glanced at it and didn't pay much attention to it. Therefore, they didn't pay too much attention to it. Oh, right. Is there a big trading company or a place where I can buy a map? Seeing their appearance, Lin Ray quickly asked them what he wanted to know. Although they were just stall owners, Lin Ray believed that they would know something. If my lord wants to buy something, it won't belong to our crystal clear water pavilion. In the crystal clear water pavilion, there are only things that my lord can't think of and nothing that my lord can't buy. It can be said that we have everything that my lord wants to buy there. Yes, the crystal clear water pavilion. Sir, you should be able to find the things you want to buy there. After obtaining some useful information, Lin Ray's mouth slightly curled up into a smile. Then, he turned around and left. Before leaving, he didn't forget to thank them. Thanks. After speaking, Linley didn't even look back as he walked towards the center of the city. Along the way, he didn't stop at all. Even if he encountered any more hawkers, Linley would hurriedly leave. It wasn't good for him to stay here. This was because Linley could sense that the lowest level of cultivation here was at the peak of the earth immortal realm. Thus, it was best for Linley to avoid offending them as much as possible. Along the way, he discovered that the city wasn't just big. In fact, it was extremely big. Lin Ray walked from a stall to the crystal clear water pavilion. It took him more than an hour to reach the crystal clear water pavilion. Chapter 3:11. Raising his head, Lin Ray saw 3 big blue words engraved on the signboard of the crystal clear water pavilion above his head. He could faintly feel a bit of pressure coming from the 3 big words. 2 guards were standing at the entrance with solemn expressions and looking at each other. Lin Ray had seen a lot of things that had shocked him today, but he had to admit that the 2 heaven immortal realm cultivators were actually guarding the entrance of a business. For a moment, Lin Ray felt as if he had been struck by a blow. The whole crystal clear water pavilion was luxuriously decorated and looked very noble. Just the signboard above its head alone was worth a lot. Coupled with the guards at the entrance, One could tell at a glance that the background of the crystal-clear water pavilion was very powerful. Lin Ray believed that they had the information and the things he wanted to know about this place. Without wasting any time, Lin Ray found the smaller crystal-clear water pavilion and headed inside. But right at this time, he was stopped by the two guards at the entrance. "Who are you? Do you have an invitation card for my crystal-clear water pavilion?" A single sentence, and Linley's mind went blank. An invitation? What the hell? Lin Ray had never been here before, so how could he possibly know about it? "I don't have one." "Then I'm sorry, but you can't enter without an invitation card. Furthermore, look at your tattered clothes. How can you enter my crystal-clear water pavilion?" At this time, the two guards stopped Lin Ray. The disdainful look in their eyes made Lin Ray feel very unhappy. In the blink of an eye, anger surged in his heart. If it was before, he might not have been able to fight against a Heaven Immortal Realm expert. But after 3 years of secluded cultivation, fighting against a Heaven Immortal Realm expert was a piece of cake for him. After hearing the words of the guards, Lin Ray knew that they were looking down on him. He couldn't spoil this kind of person, and he couldn't be cowardly either. Otherwise, the other party would become even more unscrupulous. In the blink of an eye, the martial Emperor Godly Spear appeared in his hand, and a baleful aura burst out from the spear and rushed toward the two guards. Boom! Lin Ray was quite confident in his murderous aura. In terms of murderous aura, Lin Ray believed that the two of them were nothing. His killing intent locked onto the two guards. In an instant, the two guards felt the temperature around them drop. In response to this phenomenon, the two guards couldn't help but cast their gazes towards the spear-wielding youth in front of them. "You? What? Do you want to fight in my crystal-clear water pavilion? You are just a peak Earth immortal, yet you dare to act all high and mighty in front of me. A Heaven Immortal? Are you courting death?" The two guards were both shocked and amused. After all, although there was only a fine line between a celestial immortal and an earthly immortal, the gap between them was extremely large. Therefore, in their eyes, Lin Ray's performance was the rhythm of courting death. If I didn't ask you, you would know. At this time, Lin Ray was already prepared to kill them and leave immediately. However, life was bound to change sometimes. Just as Lin Ray was about to make his move, a melodious voice that resembled the cry of an oriole entered his ears. "Young master, may I know if the guards of my crystal-clear water pavilion have offended you in some way? Why would I trouble you to teach them a lesson?" Her words immediately attracted the attention of everyone present. It was a woman who had appeared at the entrance of the crystal-clear water pavilion. Her skin was like jade, and her facial features were also very delicate. As for her voice, it was needless to say. Lin Ray had already experienced it a moment ago. As for her figure, it was simply a beauty capable of causing the downfall of a city. I intended to come to your crystal-clear water pavilion to do business. But I didn't expect that a puny guard would look down on me like a dog and judge a person just by looking at their clothes. TSK, today, I've finally seen the threshold of the crystal-clear water pavilion. It's really high. Lin Ray didn't care whether the opposite party was a beauty or not. As long as they provoked him, let alone a beauty, Lin Ray wouldn't care about such things and would treat them the same as before. What? After hearing Lin Ray's words, the woman's complexion suddenly changed. She looked at the two guards at the entrance with an unkind expression and asked them with an ice-cold tone, "Is this young master speaking the truth?" After seeing the woman's expression, Lin Ray knew that he had misunderstood her. Thinking back to his previous tone, he couldn't help but feel somewhat embarrassed. "Why, yes, young miss." After hearing the woman's words, the bodies of the two guards started to tremble violently. It seemed as though they were very afraid of the woman before their eyes. The situation was getting more and more intense. The fear in their eyes couldn't be acted out no matter how hard they tried. But at this time, the fear in the eyes of the two guards couldn't be acted out. Lin Ray also found this scene very strange. Even if the woman before him was the young miss of the crystal-clear water pavilion, there was no need for them to be so afraid just because she said a few words. For a moment, Lin Ray started to take a liking to the woman before him. Oomph. I'm afraid that you will be disappointed by the rules of the crystal clear water pavilion. After you return, go to the Hall of Penal Law to receive your punishment. Afterward, copy the rules of the crystal clear water pavilion 1,000 times until you're done. Yes, young miss. As soon as the woman said those words, the two guards changed positions and headed toward the interior of the crystal clear water pavilion. Before long, the two new guards arrived at the entrance and stood in the same place as the two guards who had just left. Stand guard properly. According to the rules of the crystal clear water pavilion, regardless of the other party status, as long as they come to our door, it's fine. If you can't even do this well, you can forget about working in the crystal clear water pavilion. Looking at the two new guards, the woman warned them in advance with a slightly cold expression in order to prevent the previous incident from happening again. Yes, we will obey young Mrs. Words. Very clearly, the two new guards were much stronger than the previous ones. They only knew how to recognize each other. Young master, the previous matter was the fault of our crystal clear water pavilion. In a while, if you want anything, you can do whatever you want. Today, I'll give you a 20% discount. What do you think? Finally, after dealing with her family matters, she thought of Lin Ray and decided to give Lin Ray a 20% discount to compensate for her previous mistake. All right. After hearing the woman's words, Lin Ray quickly put away the martial emperor godly spear and followed the woman into the interior of the crystal clear water pavilion. Lin Ray didn't care about this small interlude. After following the woman into the interior and seeing the exquisite decorations, he couldn't help but laugh inwardly. Those two guards are done for this time. It was their mistake, but it was also the mistake of the crystal clear water pavilion. Of course, how could Lin Ray show such thoughts on his face? Although he thought so inwardly, his face remained expressionless from beginning to end. Young master, may I know what you want to buy from our crystal clear water pavilion? Although this is a branch of the crystal clear water pavilion, if the thing you want isn't available here, we can quickly search for it from the headquarters or other places. In the central hall of the crystal clear water pavilion, the woman stopped in her tracks and turned around to ask Lin Ray about his purpose in coming here, as well as the capabilities of the crystal clear water pavilion. Chapter 312. Oh, the purpose of my visit this time is to buy some information about the immortal realm and a map of the immortal realm. Hearing the woman's words, Linley hurriedly stated his request. Oh, good. However, there is no map of the immortal realm here. Even if you're in other businesses, I believe there is no map of the immortal realm. Hearing Linley's words, the woman apologetically explained to Linley what had happened. Thanking her was a difficult thing for Linley as well. Oh, young master, please don't misunderstand. I'm not deliberately making things difficult for you. It's just that the immortal world is vast, and no one knows how big it is. However, if young master wants a map, I can give you a simple map of the western region. Oh, I see. After listening to the woman's explanation, Lin Ray realized that the immortal realm could not be spread out. Even a map could not be drawn. Of course, hearing this, Lin Ray was even more curious. Oh, it's okay. Then give me a map of the western regions and all kinds of information about the immortal realm. The woman was very satisfied with the customer's request. When she heard Lin Ray's request, she quickly told the servant behind her about Lin Ray's request and asked him to prepare it. Young master, please wait a moment. I've already ordered someone to get the things you want. As she spoke, the woman guided Linley to a nearby chair, indicating for him to sit down and wait for the person who had gone to retrieve the item to come. The two of them sat there quietly and did not say a word. The atmosphere was quite tense. The woman next to them was also very helpless. Finally, the woman could not help but speak first. Young master, how long do you plan to stay in the ancient capital? At the same time, Lin Ray, who also felt the tense atmosphere, heard the woman speak first. As a man, there was nothing to hide. He said casually, I don't know yet. If it's fun here, I'll stay for a few more days. Of course, I just came to the immortal realm and don't know, so? No wonder No wonder young master wants to buy something about the immortal realm. It turns out that young master has just arrived in the immortal realm. Hearing Lin Ray's words, the woman finally understood why the man in front of her was so out of tune with the matters of the immortal world. It turned out that he had just ascended to the immortal world. However, if the woman knew that Lin Ray did not ascend, but was teleported, what would her expression be? Of course, there was no need for Lin Ray to tell her such things. Just as they were talking, the person who went to retrieve the items came back with 2 jade slips in his hand. There was nothing else. Of course, Lin Ray had used this kind of jade slip to store things before, so he took the thing in the servant's hand with ease. He took out a jade slip, placed it on his forehead, and absorbed the contents inside. As the saying goes, if you don't see it, you won't know. The immortal world was divided into 5 divisions, just like profound heaven. However, the difference was that the 5 divisions weren't controlled by an empire, but by 5 immortal venerables, and only 5 immortal venerables. According to the law of the immortal world, only 5 immortal venerables could be born in the immortal world. However, there could be many immortal emperors. Therefore, only 5 immortal venerables could be in charge of the 5 divisions. The distribution of the immortal realm was even more special. The 5 immortal sovereigns, followed by the 5 great empires and the 5 great immortal sects. Below them were various small sects and clans. There was no limit to their numbers. It was divided into 5 areas: east, west, south, north, and center. Each area had an immortal venerable. They were Immortal Venerable Hao Chun in the east, Immortal Venerable Reincarnation in the west, Immortal Venerable Dominating Heaven in the south, Immortal Venerable Ao Tian in the north, and Immortal Venerable Qian Kuan in the center. The 5 great sects of the immortal world: Karakoram Immortal Sect, Qian Kuan Sect, Shocking Heaven Sect, Sword Sect, and Myriad Treasures Immortal Sect. The 5 great empires of the immortal realm: Jing Tian Empire, Kuei Empire, Jiama Empire, Elf Empire, and Tian Tu Empire. Whether it was an immortal sect or an empire, there was 1 or more immortal emperors in charge. No one knew the exact number. Seeing this, Lin Ray was even more eager to improve his strength. Not for himself, but for his sect. Lin Ray wanted to improve his cultivation as soon as possible so that he wouldn't be bullied by others. He wanted his sect to appear in the world and be worshipped by thousands of sects. Looking at this, Lin Ray was shocked. He didn't expect the distribution of the immortal world to be so complicated. Moreover, there were various races and sects competing and killing. Basically, there were sects falling every day, but at the same time, there were also sects being revived or founded. When he continued to read, there was nothing else but the division of the immortal world. The immortal world was divided into earthly immortal, celestial immortal, Xian immortal, 9 heavens Xian immortal, Tai true immortal, Tai golden immortal, Daluo golden immortal, immortal monarch, immortal emperor, and finally, the ruler of the immortal world, immortal venerables. Looking at these levels, Lin Ray suddenly felt that he was at the bottom of the immortal world. At this moment, his will to fight suddenly soared. He couldn't wait to improve his cultivation immediately and stand at the peak of the immortal world. Phew! After reading the jade slip, Lin Ray exhaled deeply. He was deeply shocked, but at the same time, a strong will was planted in Lin Ray's heart. The woman next to him saw that the man in front of her didn't show any expression after reading this. At first, she was curious about the man in front of her. She knew that when 2 people were together, the first thing that would arise was curiosity. As the woman became more and more curious about the man, she would eventually become his girlfriend and then a family. Now, this woman had obviously become the first step and was curious about Lin Ray. Thank you. How much are these things? After recovering from the content of the jade slip, Lin Ray felt very embarrassed. He didn't pay the woman and directly read the jade slip. Therefore, the moment he recovered, Lin Ray asked the woman next to him, "Oh, it's not much. It's not very expensive for young master to get the name. 1,000 upper-grade spirit stones will do. Okay. After hearing the woman's offer, Lin Ray quickly took out 1,000 upper-grade spirit stones and handed it to the servant next to him. Then, he stood up and prepared to leave. Young master, don't worry. Didn't you just arrive in the immortal world? It just so happens that our crystal clear water pavilion is going to hold an auction in 2 days. If young master has time, you might as well come and take a look. Who knows? Maybe you'll find something you like in the auction. When the woman next to him heard that Linley was going to have one, she immediately stood up excitedly and told Linley about the auction that would take place in 2 days. As she spoke, she looked around in a daze, and her hands were tightly clasped together. After hearing the woman's words, Lin Ray, who was about to leave, stopped in his tracks and became interested. Okay, I'll come again in 2 days. Lin Ray didn't see the woman's state, nor did he care. After giving a simple reply, Lin Ray turned around and walked outside. Chapter 3:13. He decisively walked out of the crystal-clear water pavilion without any hesitation. Looking at Lin Ray's indifferent appearance as he left, the woman didn't know why, but she felt somewhat uncomfortable in her heart. If someone else were to see him like this, they would definitely want to stay for a while longer. But this person acted as if he didn't see her and didn't want to stay for even a moment longer. It was inevitable for someone with a strong sense of self-esteem to feel a bit uncomfortable. She was someone who was doted on and loved by everyone, but he was unconsciously ignoring her. I don't believe that you don't like beautiful women. In this world, if a woman were to take the place of a man, she would either become his enemy or his lover in the end. Give me a VLP room in the auction 2 days from now. If Uncle Zhong asks about it, tell him that I have a use for it. The somewhat angry woman said to the servant next to her and hurriedly walked toward the inner courtyard of the crystal-clear water pavilion, leaving the servant behind. At this time, Lin Ray, who had just walked out of the crystal-clear water pavilion, had no idea that he had obtained the favor of a woman without even knowing it. The matter has been resolved. I didn't expect that I would come here at the right time and run into the auction that only happens once every 100 years. At this time, Lin Ray, who had just walked out of the crystal-clear water pavilion, had nothing to do. Therefore, he strolled on the street. As soon as he recalled the words of the young lady of the crystal-clear water pavilion, Lin Ray's interest grew even stronger. Of course, he wasn't interested in that woman. Rather, he was interested in the auction that only happened once every 100 years. Just thinking about it made him excited. He stopped in his tracks and looked all around. Just as Lin Ray was thinking about the auction, a strange fragrance entered his nose. In an instant, everything unconsciously ran to the back of his mind. Everything started to revolve around this inexplicable thought. Lin Ray had never smelled this fragrance before. After looking all around, Lin Ray sensed that the fragrance was coming from a room not too far away. After learning this, Lin Ray walked toward the source of the fragrance. Before long, he arrived at the source and raised his head to take a look. As it turned out, it was a restaurant. Since you're here, let's go in. We'll open everything according to the day. It seems like I haven't eaten for a long time. With that, Lin Ray walked into the restaurant. As soon as he entered, he was welcomed by the enthusiastic waiter. Brother, please sit here. He led Lin Ray to a seat by the window. Young man, what would you like to eat? Our shop is the most famous in Jingqing City. Lin Ray, who was sitting in his seat, looked up at the dishes hanging on the wall. For a moment, he didn't know what to eat. It wasn't that Lin Ray was picky, but that Lin Ray had never eaten these dishes before. Well, serve them as you see fit. As long as they are your specialty dishes, serve them. Oh, by the way, serve 2 pots of your good wine. All right, please wait for a moment. I'll give you the menu and serve the dishes in a moment. After hearing Lin Ray's order, the waiter went crazy. It was as if the 7 amp of these dishes belonged to him. Lin Ray didn't think too much about it. Instead, He looked out the window and looked at the bustling street outside with people coming and going. Time passed by, and the dishes were served little by little. Finally, after the wine was served, everything was served together. Lin Ray also began to loot like a hurricane. For a person who hadn't eaten or drunk for several years, it was simply a naked temptation. Hey, have you heard? What? Aya, what is it? I haven't heard. It said that there is an ancient ruin under Jingshang City that is about to appear, and when he was eating, he was attracted by the conversation of the people next to him, and his hand stopped eating. The news in the restaurant was the most well-informed recently, and it was also the most abundant. Lin Ray had a deep understanding of this. When he heard about the ancient ruins, Lin Ray began to concentrate on their conversation. Really? And according to the gossip, now the major empires, immortal sects, and even some sects' proud sons of heaven and elders have brought people to our Jingxing city. Looking at the face of the person who spoke, he was very cautious. This made Lin Ray have doubts. It was reasonable to say that this kind of thing couldn't be spread casually, but looking at his appearance, it didn't seem to be false. Then what should we do? Although our Jingxing city is an ancient battlefield discovered by the ancient gods and demons, it is not wrong to say that there are ruins, but how many years have passed? How could it not be discovered by others? AI. Who knows? Who cares? The ruins are the ruins. Anyway, we can't compete with them. They're all the proud sons of the big families and sections. Compared with them, we can't even take one move. So, let's just be honest civilians. Yes, that's right. At this moment, all their words fell into Lin Ray's ears. Listening to their discussion, Lin Ray somewhat believed their words. Of course, how could Lin Ray easily believe their words? But Lin Ray suddenly remembered that before he came, his divine sense had sensed the pressure coming from the walls of the entire Jingxing city. At this moment, Lin Ray believed it. Hee, it's getting more and more interesting. I didn't expect that I would encounter the primordial battlefield and the reappearance of the primordial ruins in a random town. Looks like the heavens are really helping me. As the saying goes, if you don't take advantage of an opportunity, you are a bastard. For such a thing, how could Lin Ray, who was eager to break through his cultivation, miss it? Since he was not in a hurry to leave, Lin Ray slowed down his eating speed. He wanted to see what kind of news he could hear here. As time passed, Lin Ray, who had eaten his fill, heard nothing except the news that the ruins were about to appear. Waiter, the bill. Coming. When the waiter heard the bill, he quickly came to Lin Ray's side. Looking at the empty plates on the table, the waiter wiped the sweat on his forehead and said the price of the dishes. A total of 3,000 low-grade spirit stones. Here. Hearing the price, Lin Ray didn't think it was too expensive. When he was eating, Lin Ray found out that the ingredients for their meals were all missing. The meat of the demonic beasts. He casually took out 4,000 low-grade spiritual stones and handed them to the waiter. He said indifferently, "Here are 4,000 low-grade spiritual stones. Take the rest as your tip. By the way, give me a room. I want to stay here." Chapter 314. In this way, Lin Ray stayed in this small shop for 2 days. However, in his eyes, it was just a speck of starlight that passed in the blink of an eye. During these 2 days, Lin Ray had been practicing in his room, consolidating his cultivation and increasing his strength. The world was quiet, but this was only because of Lin Ray's practice. Jingxing City was a remote city that no one wanted to come to. However, in these 2 days, more and more people came, and it seemed that none of them were ordinary people. Everyone's cultivation was very strong, and the strength behind them could not be underestimated. The reason was that Lin Ray had heard about the Antiquity Times ruins under Jingshang City by chance when he was eating. In just 2 days, the desolate Jingshang City had become a bustling place. Every day, a large number of people poured into Jingshang City. Even when Jingshang City had no place to stay, they sat on the ground in Jingshang City, waiting for the ruins to open. At this moment, Jingshang City was full of smoke. Everyone was staring at each other, fearing that the other party would take action once the ruins appeared. In the room of the hotel, Sword Chi was vigorous. In a short moment, all the wooden things in the room, no matter the table or anything else, were turned into powder the moment the Sword Chi appeared. Phew! In an instant, the Sword Chi appeared in the blink of an eye and was withdrawn by Lin Ray, who had been in closed-door training for 2 days. He allowed a long breath and slowly opened his eyes. A flash of light was seen in the twinkling of an eye. Ha ha! I didn't expect that after 2 days of closed-door training, my Sword Chi would soar to a new height and break through to the level of Sword Chi transformation. If I were to face an expert at the late stage of the celestial immortal realm, even if I don't use martial arts, the Sword Chi transformation alone would be enough to kill him. Of course, this kind of thing was hard to say. No one knew what would happen in a battle. If it was said that there were thousands of changes in an instant, no one would know what would happen in the next moment. For this kind of thing, it was just Lin Ray's own imagination. If he wanted to realize whether it was true or not, he could only find a real, celestial, immortal expert to fight. Only then could he verify it. Phew, it's time for me to go out and get some exercise. I heard that the ruins will appear, but I don't know when it will be. At this time, Lin Ray was still thinking about the appearance of the ruins that he had heard about during dinner. With that thought in mind, Lin Ray stood up and stretched his body that had not moved for 2 days. Kacha-kacha. The sound of bones cracking could be heard from Lin Ray's body the moment he got out of bed. The sound was very terrifying. It was impossible for an ordinary cultivator to make such a sound. After getting out of bed, Lin Ray washed up a little before opening the door and walking out. As soon as he opened the door, the dazzling sunlight instantly caused Lin Li's eyes to close. But a happy smile appeared on his face, as though he was a sunny boy. He was extremely handsome, especially with that head of violet hair of his, which only served to accentuate his unique aura. Suddenly, Lin Ray opened his eyes and looked up at the sky. Ow! A resounding bestial roar shook the heavens, and accompanying it was an aura that caused Lin Li to be stunned. Gradually, a tiger with a pair of red and white wings on its back appeared in everyone's eyes. However, this tiger was not a normal tiger. This demonic beast was 100 meters long, and its eyes were like copper bells. Just from the pressure on its body, one could feel that this demonic beast's strength was extraordinarily strong. Of course, it was the appearance of this demonic beast that made Lin Ray's closed eyes suddenly open. He did not care if his eyes were used to it or not. However, what shocked Lin Ray was not the demonic beast, but the young man sitting on the back of the demonic beast. Looking at his age, he seemed to be in his 20s or 30s. This man had a jade-like face, sword-like eyebrows, and starry eyes. His eyes were like the stars in the sky, shining brightly. At the same time, they were deep and moving, making people unable to extricate themselves from them. At this moment, Lin Ray was very shocked, because Lin Ray could not feel any pressure or aura from this man at all. He was just like an ordinary person who had never practiced martial arts. 2 pairs of eyes met. At this moment, the man on top of the demonic tiger felt Lin Li's gaze on him. Instantly, the 2 pairs of eyes met. What's going on? A little ant at the peak of the earthly immortal realm can look into my eyes? The man thought it was an illusion. Then his mind sense burst out, and he came in front of Lin Ray in an instant, sensing Lin Ray's aura. A few seconds later, the man sitting on the tiger's back laughed. What a magical little guy. I didn't expect that with only the cultivation of the peak of the earthly immortal realm, he could look into my eyes. If he can grow up, he will be a rare expert in the future. The man was only interested in Lin Ray's appearance. After confirming his thoughts, the man withdrew his mind sense and gaze. He did not look at Lin Ray again and flew directly into the capital city. Lin Li didn't move at all. He just stood there, allowing the man's divine sense to sweep over him without doing anything. Phew! The man's departure caused Lin Li's body to relax. Just as the man's divine sense was about to reach him, the sensitive Lin Li instantly sensed the man's cultivation base. It was vast and boundless, like a boundless ocean. It was like an ancient well that had no ripples, making it hard to fathom. Yeah, it seems that the ancient gods and devil's relic is real. It can make such an expert come to this desolate place, which is enough to show the importance of this relic. At the same time, thinking of this, Lin Ray's face turned ugly, because, with only the strength of the peak of the earthly immortal realm, it was no doubt like hitting a stone with an egg. He would not be able to withstand a single blow. Boom! As soon as the pressure passed, a terrifying cultivator descended. However, this time, the person who had come didn't hide his cultivation base. Ha ha! Startling Dawn, I didn't expect that. Your father can let you come here. It seems that this is going to be fun. This man shouted at the man who had just passed by. His tone was overbearing, and his aura was so strong that no one dared to approach him. What? So that man is called Startling Dawn? Hee hee. Lin Ray had deeply engraved the name Startling Dawn in his mind. It was not because he had tested him with his mind sense, but because Lin Ray felt that this man called Startling Dawn was very powerful. Even the people who followed him were not as powerful as him. What's wrong, Hao? Your father finally let you out. This time, he didn't send anyone to protect you, did he? This sentence directly made the man who had just spoken blush. He did not speak, but his eyes were not as unscrupulous as before. However, he resented Startling Dawn. Chapter 315. As time passed, more and more powerhouses flocked to Jingchang City. Everyone's eyes would look at the ground from time to time, but then they would withdraw their gazes in disappointment. At the same time, Lin Ray discovered that many powerhouses like Jingxiao and Haoyu had arrived in Jingchang City one after another. Lin Ray could only say that their strength was simply not on the same level. In front of them, Lin Ray was like a worker living at the bottom, while they were like lofty emperors that people looked up to. This scene made Lin Ray deeply realize the inadequacy of his own strength. At the same time, it also deeply stimulated him. Lin Ray, who was already accustomed to this scene, walked downstairs and went to the dining area in the front yard. He sat at the window where he had eaten before. "Little brother, you are out. What would you like to eat?" As soon as he sat down, the waiter from before came to the table, smiling as he asked Linley, "What's the matter?" Looking at it, Linley chuckled. "Just give me some random items and 2 jugs of good wine." Lin Ray liked the waiter very much. Upon hearing Lin Ray's words, the waiter hurried to the kitchen. After a while, he returned with 2 bottles of wine that he had drunk before and placed them in front of Lin Ray. "Little brother, you drink first. I will hurry up the dishes for you later. I guarantee that you won't have to wait for a while." After saying that, the waiter left again. Lin Ray took the bottle of wine and began to taste it carefully. As he drank his wine, he looked at the people coming and going outside the window. Linley just watched quietly as the wine in his hand continued to pour into his mouth. In an instant, the cultivation base of every passerby appeared in Lin Ray's mind. Peak Celestial Immortal, Mystic Immortal, Ninth Heaven Mystic Immortal. Wait. Looking at their cultivations, Lin Ray knew that the experts who came this time were probably stronger than him. Of course, Lin Ray didn't become dispirited because of this. Instead, his fighting spirit soared. He couldn't wait to rush up and fight. Just like that, every person who passed by, all their information would appear directly in Lin Ray's mind through the system. Suddenly, the sound of a system prompt rang in Lin Ray's mind. Ding dong. Discovered a grand unity, true immortal expert. Background: Shocking Heaven Sect. Age: 368 years old. Single. His ancestor is the Sky Tyrant Immortal. He has a candid personality, outstanding talent, and a supreme grade spiritual root. You can befriend him. A voice directly made Lin Ray spit out the wine that he had just drunk. His face was red from the wine. Cough, cough, cough. A burst of violent coughing attracted the attention of the people around him. Lin Ray was very embarrassed about this. "Cough, little dragon. Are you stupid? It's fine as long as he doesn't find trouble with me." You actually want me to befriend him? Lin Ray didn't understand. Just his background alone was enough to crush him. Plus, he had an ancestor at the level of immortal venerable. Befriend him? Was that even possible? Humph. Lin Ray, this is the last time I'm telling you. It's not that you don't have the qualifications, but that he doesn't have anyone. If it weren't for your weak strength, I wouldn't even agree to meet such a piece of trash, let alone befriend you. As the saying goes, if you want to see how good a pretentious person is, you have to see how thick his skin is. At this moment, Lin Ray was very sleepy. The little dragon's pretentious ability was really not for show. Listening to the little dragon's words, Lin Ray was speechless. He didn't know what to say. You have to know that your bloodline is the only one in the entire function. They are just a foil to you. At the same time, they can only be your foil. So, don't doubt your qualifications. Although the little dragon's words were a bit exaggerated, to Lin Ray, everyone was the same. So what if he had an immortal, venerable background? That was his father's. What did he have? If he had started cultivating from an ordinary person with nothing, could he have reached this step? After thinking it through, Lin Ray didn't stop the other party because there was no need to. He withdrew his gaze and tasted the wine seriously. At this moment, the table was already full of dishes. Looking at these dishes, Lin Ray's appetite was aroused. As the saying goes, people are made of iron and rice is made of steel. If you don't eat, you'll be hungry. Although Lin Ray had cultivated to this level and didn't feel hungry, Lin Ray couldn't help but have the urge to eat. Without saying much, he ate big pieces of meat and drank big mouthfuls of wine. Lin Ray's actions seemed to have infected the people eating around him. Everyone started to imitate Lin Ray and started to eat. "Excuse me, can I sit here?" A voice stopped Lin Ray, who was eating excitedly. He looked up. Wasn't it startling Dawn, who the little dragon had asked him to befriend? Startled, still startled. Lin Ray really couldn't understand. There were so many empty places around. Why did he come here to sit with him? "Excuse me, can I sit here?" Another question woke Lin Ray up from his daze. That you sit here." Lin Ray gestured for him to sit down. He wiped the oil on his mouth with his hand and straightened his posture. "I'm Lin Ray. May I know who you are?" Although he knew the other party's name, he couldn't say the other party's name so blatantly. That would be a bad thing. "Oh, I'm Startling Dawn. Hello, Brother Lin." After sitting down, Startling Dawn didn't care about his identity and background after introducing himself to Lin Ray. He didn't look down on Lin Ray and then said his name. "Haha, good, Brother Startling Dawn. It's fate that we met. Come, try the wine that our parents brewed." Looking at him, Linley's impression of his performance just now instantly improved by a lot. Then, he took out 2 bottles of red wine and whiskey that Jean Ling had bought for him, placed them in front of Startling Dawn, and said heartily, "Oh." Hearing Lin Ray's words, Startling Dawn looked over and saw 2 exquisite bottles in front of him. These bottles are exquisite." The moment he saw the bottles, Startling Dawn's eyes were deeply attracted to them. "Haha, you'll know when you drink the wine inside." Looking at Startling Dawn's expression, Lin Ray smiled and didn't say anything. Then he opened the 2 bottles of wine and poured a bowl for Startling Dawn. Lin Ray picked up the wine that the waiter had brought and clinked glasses with Startling Dawn. "Here, this bowl is ready." After saying that, Lin Ray didn't care if Startling Dawn drank it or not. He drank it in one gulp. Burp. A drunken burp came out of Linley's mouth. Chapter 3:16. Ha ha! Suddenly, a hearty laugh rang out from Startling Dawn's mouth. For a moment, Linley's face was flushed red. He had just gotten up. I didn't expect Brother Lin to be such a straightforward person." Gulp. As soon as Startling Dawn finished speaking, he downed the bowl of wine in his hand. The smile on his face didn't decrease, but increased instead. At this time, Lin Ray was dumbfounded. He thought that Startling Dawn would say something, but he didn't expect that he would say something like that. "Phew, it's so refreshing. Brother Lin, what kind of wine is this?" I've never drunk such a dry and mellow wine before. Moreover, there seems to be the fragrance of grapes and flowers in it. The taste is excellent. After hearing startling Dawn's words, Lin Ray knew that he was also a wine lover, just based on the fact that he was able to identify the raw materials of the wine. That's right. This wine is a red wine produced by my boss. The fragrance inside is the fragrance of roses. After saying that, Lin Ray picked up the wine bottle again and handed it to startling Dawn, hinting him to drink it. However, Lin Ray didn't expect that startling Dawn was also a drunkard. He didn't stand on ceremony with Lin Ray and directly took the bottle and started drinking by himself. Seeing this scene, Lin Ray smiled. Originally, he wanted to make friends with startling Dawn. Now that they had a tacit understanding, it was only a matter of time before they became friends. Seeing that startling Dawn was drinking happily, Linley didn't have the chance to continue eating. He once again began to gobble down his food. The meal passed very quickly. At this time, startling Dawn had also finished the 2 bottles of wine. His originally handsome face was now flushed red, making him look very handsome. Brother Starling Dawn, you see, after drinking and eating, I'm going to the crystal clear water pavilion to watch the auction. I wonder if Brother Starling Dawn is willing to go with me. Burp. Starling burped. Starling had been a bit drunk, but upon hearing Linley's words, his drunkenness instantly disappeared, and his entire person became spirited. Sure, you don't say. My father forces me to cultivate all day long. Every day, other than cultivating, it's just cultivating. I rarely come out. Although I did attend the auction, that was decades ago. Startling Dawn's words shocked Lin Ray, but at the same time, he sympathized with him. However, he had no choice but to sympathize with him silently. All right, let's go. Maybe the auction has already started. After agreeing to startling Dawn's request, he led the way and headed toward the crystal clear water pavilion. The journey was very peaceful, but amidst the peace, Lin Ray felt a stifling feeling, which made him feel very uncomfortable. Lin Ray didn't have the opportunity to do so. He quickly arrived at the entrance of the crystal clear water pavilion. The 2 guards standing at the entrance didn't stop Lin Ray. On the contrary, a smile appeared on their faces after they saw Lin Ray. Young master, our young miss has instructed us to let you in directly if you come. The young miss has already prepared a room for you. It's on the 3rd floor, room 305 of VLP 305. What? Lin Ray was dumbfounded by these words. What do you mean by the room has already been prepared? Are you very familiar with me? Although he thought this way, Lin Ray didn't refuse. Okay, you can go ahead and do what you need to do. After informing the 2 guards, Lin Ray led startling Dawn into the room prepared for the young miss of the crystal clear water pavilion. Along the way, everyone was staring at Lin Ray and startling Dawn's actions until they entered the room. Lin Ray didn't care about their gazes. Therefore, he entered the room under the watchful eyes of everyone present. Lin Ray. After entering the room, startling Dawn, who had been following behind Lin Ray, jokingly said to Lin Ray, I didn't expect that Brother Lin Ray would actually have such a song. Sigh, Brother Startling Dawn, don't make fun of me. Who knows what's going on with their young miss? I've only seen him once 2 days ago. If we're close, I don't even know his name. Naturally, Lin Ray was also surprised by startling Dawn's words. He had no idea what this young miss of the crystal clear water pavilion was thinking. Sigh, forget it. Since we're here, we might as well take things as they come. I want to see what this young miss of the crystal clear water pavilion wants to do. After saying this much, Lin Ray looked for a place and sat down. Startling Dawn also sat down in front of Lin Ray and waited for the start of the auction. However, what they didn't know was that the moment they entered the room, the people outside burst into an uproar. From what they knew, no one had ever entered the 3rd floor before. But now, a little cultivator with no experience was allowed to enter. How could they be willing to accept this? Your crystal clear water pavilion is quite capable. You would rather let a little cultivator of the earth immortal realm enter the 3rd floor than let us enter. Is this how your crystal clear water pavilion receives its guests? That's right. That's right. In any case, we've been friends and frequent customers for many years, right? For a moment, the voices of the people in the room boiled over. After one person started the matter, the situation became chaotic. Oomph. If you don't accept it, then get lost. This is the rule of my crystal-clear water pavilion. Besides, it was my young miss who allowed them to enter. What do you do about it? If you don't want to stay here, then get the hell out of here. My crystal-clear water pavilion won't do business with you. A cold snort, accompanied by a huge pressure, suppressed the voices of everyone present as soon as it appeared. It was unknown what cultivation level the speaker had, but as soon as he said that, no one present dared to say anything. The crystal-clear water pavilion is indeed the crystal-clear water pavilion. Although it's just a small branch, it still has a grand unity golden immortal guarding it. It's truly worthy of being one of the 3 big trading companies of the immortal world. At this time, Jing Xiao, who was in room 305 on the 3rd floor, had a change in expression after sensing the pressure. Soon after, his complexion returned to normal. Lin Rei didn't notice Jing Xiao's actions. At this time, Lin Rei was also intimidated by the pressure. He was so shocked that he didn't have the time to pay attention to Jing Xiao's actions. In the outside world, the people who were intimidated by the speaker were like eggplants that had been beaten by frost. They didn't dare to complain anymore and sat in their original seats. If you want to continue the auction, then obediently sit in your original seats and wait for the auction to start. If you don't want to, then get the hell out of here. From now on, my crystal-clear water pavilion won't welcome you. As soon as the speaker finished speaking, there was no more sound. The pressure was withdrawn, and everything returned to normal. The instant the pressure was withdrawn, everyone relaxed. However, they still had some lingering fear from the previous situation. They didn't want to offend the overlord of one of the 3 big trading companies of the immortal world just because of a person they didn't want to trade with. After all, it wasn't worth it. Chapter 317. The auction was about to start. What happened just now was just a small interlude. As for Lin Rei and the others, they didn't suffer any losses. What Lin Rei didn't know was that this small interlude had already pushed Lin Rei to the heart of the struggle. He was now someone that everyone wanted to get acquainted with. Naturally, it was also because of this small interlude that Jing Xiao's curiosity toward Lin Rei grew. Previously, he was still curious because Lin Rei was able to look him in the eyes without any reaction. But now, the young lady of the crystal-clear water pavilion had arranged for him to stay in a room on the 3rd floor that only the big shots were allowed to enter. Jing Xiao was now filled with endless curiosity toward Lin Rei. At the same time, he was also interested in the young lady of the crystal-clear water pavilion. Someone who could make a primordial unity, golden immortal powerhouse guard couldn't possibly be an ordinary person. The crystal-clear water pavilion was one of the 3 big shots of the young ladies' trading company. The 1st and 2nd floors were open to outsiders, but the 3rd floor was set up by the old ancestor of the crystal-clear water pavilion. When the crystal-clear water pavilion was established, only the young lady of the crystal-clear water pavilion could be seated on the 3rd floor. Other people couldn't enter it, nor did they have the qualifications to do so. Even the descendant of a venerable immortal, Jing Xiao, could only sit on the 2nd floor. He had never been to the 3rd floor before. Therefore, he was very curious about this point. Someone who could break the rules set by the old ancestor of the crystal-clear water pavilion couldn't be someone to be trifled with. All right. The centennial auction of the ancient capital is about to start. Everyone, sorry to keep you waiting. At this time, on the stage of the auction house, a person came up to the stage and said to the people below, Good. Let's start quickly." In an instant, all the people below started whistling, discussing, and getting excited. Lin Rei, who had been sitting on the 3rd floor all along, also got excited. It was the first time that Lin Rei had seen something from the immortal world. Of course, that was excluding the immortal grass he had obtained in the endless mountain range with the Tai ape. His gaze was fixed on the auction stage below. When Jing Xiao saw Lin Rei's strange movements, the corners of his mouth curled up slightly. He smiled and didn't say anything. His gaze was fixed on the auction stage below. All right, everyone, I won't speak any more nonsense. Each of the 100 auction items is priceless. They're the treasures that the crystal-clear water pavilion has accumulated for hundreds of years. Some of them are even treasures that have been left behind since ancient times. Just as the auctioneer finished speaking, a young girl dressed in celestial robes walked onto the stage with a wooden tray in her hands. She gently placed the tray on the table that had already been placed on the stage. Ladies and gentlemen, the object in this wooden tray is an ancient sword. It doesn't have a rank, but it's made of a very special material. Ordinary middle-grade, immortal weapons can't even cut it in half. The crystal-clear water pavilion has been researching it for 100 years, but they were unable to find the material of this sword. Therefore, they had no choice but to auction it. Nameless ancient sword. The starting bid is 1 million high-grade spirit stones, and each bid is 300,000. All right, let's begin the auction. 2 million. 3 million. Half an hour later, the nameless ancient sword had already been sold for 13 million high-grade spirit stones. Moreover, from the way the price was rising, it seemed that there were still people who wanted to buy it. Lin Ray, hurry up and buy it. Hurry up, it's the flaming stream 10,000 laws sword. Hurry up. The sudden words shocked Lin Ray, who was originally uninterested. Looking at the long sword on the table below, Lin Ray found it hard to believe that a rusty red longsword was the flaming stream 10,000 laws sword. Are you sure? This longsword is already worth 10 million high-grade spirit stones. It wasn't that Lin Ray was unwilling to part with the spirit stones, but that Lin Ray didn't want to spend the spirit stones before he was sure. TCH, aren't you just reluctant to part with the spirit stones? Don't worry. This flaming stream 10,000 laws sword is the real deal. Don't be fooled by its rusty appearance. As long as you resonate with it, with the Mu 10,000 laws sword, it will be restored to its original appearance. The little dragon's guarantee made Lin Ray feel a little better. However, the little dragon had said that he was stingy, so he didn't feel happy for a while. But as for the flaming stream 10,000 laws sword, after learning its identity, Lin Ray decided that he was going to buy it. 30 million. The sudden voice fell into the ears of everyone in the crystal-clear water pavilion like a shocking piece of news. Everyone looked at the third floor. How is this possible? Who is this guy? He actually bid 30 million high-grade spirit stones in one go. At this moment, everyone was trying to search for any information about Lin Ray in their minds. Unfortunately, all their efforts ended in failure. They had never heard of such a person in the immortal world before. Not only them, but even Jing Xiao, who was in the same room as them, was shocked. 30 million high-grade spirit stones was also a huge sum of money in his eyes. But when he saw Lin Ray's expression, he didn't seem to feel the slightest bit of heartache. It was as if he was talking about 3,000 high-grade spirit stones. For him, 30 million high-grade spirit stones was something that he had to discuss with his father before he could take out. But now, it was taken out by a person who had reached the peak of the Earth immortal realm. This made him feel very uncomfortable. 30 million. 30 million going once. 30 million going twice. 30 million going thrice. Done. 40 million. Just as the hammer was about to fall, a discordant but shocking voice came from the room on the second floor. What? 40 million. At this time, this simple sentence shocked everyone present. Even the auctioneer on the stage was shocked. He had thought that this long sword with no grade would be sold for 10 million at most. He didn't expect that it would be sold for 40 million. Lin Ray felt helpless about the price of 40 million. Of course, he also felt sorry for his family's wealth. Although 40 million was nothing in his eyes, it was still money after all. When he heard the price of 40 million, Lin Ray's expression changed significantly. His smile disappeared. Oh, competing with me in terms of wealth? You're courting death. At this time, Lin Ray's unwillingness to accept the price was forced out by the person on the second floor. 50 million. With that one sentence, The originally bustling scene instantly quieted down. Everyone held their breaths, because 50 million was an astronomical figure to them. At this moment, the people on the second floor, upon hearing Linley's bid of 50 million, no longer made a sound. Okay, 50 million going once. 50 million going twice. 50 million going thrice. Dong. Sold. At this time, this long sword with no grade belonged to Lin Ray. Hearing the auctioneer's words, Lin Ray relaxed, and a relaxed smile appeared on his face. The previous haze disappeared the moment he received the long sword with no grade. Hee, congratulations, Brother Lin. I didn't expect you to be so rich. 50 million for a long sword with no grade. Chapter 3:18. Hearing startling Dawn's words, Linley didn't say anything. He only smiled. To him, the flaming stream 10,000 spell sword was worth it. Even if his family had to pay 50 million, he would still be willing. Dong, dong, dong. Not long after, there was a knock on the door. Come in. At this moment, only the person who delivered the auction items could come here. With a twig sound, the door was pushed open. One woman after another, dragging a long sword behind her, walked in and came to Linley's side. Bowing slightly and lowering her head, she spoke to Linley. Young master, this sword is yours. The flaming stream of 10,000 laws sword was in front of him. Looking at it, Lin Ray was very excited, but he did not show it. Here are 50 million high-grade spiritual stones. Take it. Without any delay, he took out a storage ring and placed it in front of the woman. Inside the ring, there were 5,000 high-grade spirit stones that would make anyone's eyes go red with envy. Thank you, young master. Then I'll go down first. With that, the woman quickly walked out of the room. Since the money for the auction items had been taken, there was no need to go down. Lin Ray could not wait to open the flaming stream of 10,000 laws sword in his hand. At this moment, only Startling Dawn and himself were left in the room. The little dragon said that Startling Dawn was a person worth befriending, so Lin Ray did not deliberately hide anything. Whoosh! Lin Ray waved his hand, and a formation covered the whole room, sealing the whole room. Brother Lin, you want to? The sudden move made Startling Dawn, who had been observing him, puzzled. He did not expect that Lin Ray would suddenly set up a formation. Brother Startling Dawn, don't panic. You will know in a while. He did not explain too much, because he would know what was going to happen next. Clang! Instantly, a green longsword appeared in Linley's hands. A vigorous sword aura swirled around the green longsword, not dissipating at all. This. Startling Dawn was never short of magic weapons, but it was the first time he saw the long sword in Lin Ray's hand. The owner did not use his cultivation, but the sword chi around him did not dissipate. This is my magic weapon, the wooden 10,000 laws sword. I only use it occasionally. Lin Ray knew that Startling Dawn was shocked, but he did not reveal the real function of the wooden 10,000 laws sword. Lin Ray certainly could not reveal the true function of the sword. As the saying goes, a man's wealth is his own ruin. Although Lin Ray wanted to befriend Dawn, there was no need to reveal everything. Looking at the 10,000 laws sword in his hand and the rusty longsword in his other hand, he didn't say anything. He activated his cultivation technique, and immortal chi rushed out of his body and into the 10,000 laws sword. With a boom sound, the sword energy expanded dramatically, nearly breaking through the formation. Fortunately, Linley was able to control the energy within. After seeing the power of the green sword in Linley's hand, he couldn't help but mutter in his heart, "It seems that I should look at this long sword first. Judging from the power it emits now, it is definitely not inferior to a magic treasure at the peak of the immortal artifact." He actually only uses such a complete thing occasionally. Although he thought so, he did not show it. After all, the sword belonged to someone else and had nothing to do with him. Out of curiosity, Startling Dawn dismissed his thoughts and carefully watched Lin Ray's actions. He wanted to see what kind of surprises this earthly immortal practitioner, who was full of secrets, could give him. At this moment, the wooden 10,000 Laws sword in Lin Ray's hand had accumulated enough energy. According to the little dragon's instructions, he put the wooden 10,000 Laws sword and the wooden 10,000 Laws sword together so that the two swords could sense each other. After all, they were made from the same mold before. After everything was settled, Lin Ray directly released his divine sense and wrapped it around the wooden 10,000 Laws sword. He wanted to see the wooden 10,000 Laws sword shine again. Of course, startling Dawn, who had been observing Lin Ray's actions, had no way of knowing. He looked at Lin Ray's concentrated expression and fell silent. His eyes were fixed on the long sword in Lin Ray's hand. He was very curious as to why Lin Ray did this, and why he did it. Time passed little by little. The auction outside was in full swing. Lin Ray spent his time in the clean room. He did not know anything about the outside world. At the same time, the outside world also did not know what was happening in the room. Huff, huff, huff. Soon, half an hour passed. The quiet room was broken by a heat wave that came out of nowhere. Startling Dawn, who was a Tai genuine immortal, naturally knew this strange phenomenon. However, he did not know the source of the heat wave. He only felt that the temperature in the room was getting higher and higher. It was almost unbearable for him. Boom! The phenomenon lasted for 5 minutes. Finally, at this moment, startling Dawn knew that the source of the heat wave was the long sword in Lin Ray's hand. At this moment, Lin Ray opened his eyes. There was a scorching light in his eyes. He lowered his head and looked at the wooden 10,000 Laws sword in his hand. Lin Ray, who had some doubts at first, was now completely convinced that this sword was the 10,000 Laws sword. The moment the wooden 10,000 Laws sword was restored. At this moment, the wooden 10,000 Laws sword had become completely cold. The rusty long sword had become as red as fire, as if there were flames on it. It was very strange. How is it? You should believe me now. The sudden voice embarrassed Lin Ray. He did not expect the little dragon to still remember what he said before. Okay, it's all my fault, okay? I was the one who didn't believe you. I was blind. I won't do it again. Everything you say is right, okay? In order to avoid a war of the century, Lin Ray could only admit defeat. Otherwise, it would definitely be a battle of words. All right, since you've admitted your mistake, then let's leave it at that. However, I have to remind you that this city will not be peaceful soon. If you want to be safe and sound, then you have to protect yourself well. Who knows, maybe after this, your strength will increase greatly. The little dragon's words aroused Lin Ray's interest. What is it? Tell me clearly. At this moment, there was no sound from the little dragon. Lin Ray was helpless about this. Every time, the little dragon disappeared before he finished speaking, leaving others in suspense. This made Lin Ray very helpless, but at the same time, he was very curious about what was going to happen next. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.